Did you hear that intro?
Great job on the video, Mark.
Thank you. They don't call me IT Mark for nothing, buddy.
Great
Whatever
job on the video.
Ask Nader, who they call
Yeah.
IT Mark. Whatever you need, buddy.
You barely know how to answer a call, but you can make some great content.
Is that a goat or a donkey that someone put on?
I don't know. We got some live here for the first ever show. Welcome, everybody. We got some people. We got Ian Smith in the house. We got Jay Molnar Racing in the house.
Oh, awesome.
Chris Robbins in the house.
Ian Smith. Is Robbins Hans Zed or Hans?
I think Robbins is, yeah. I told him he's got to change his name so we know.
What is that?
We got Jordan Molnar in the bathroom hiding.
I don't even want to know what that young man's doing in the bathroom, bro.
Huh? Ian Smith. What's going on, Ian? Nate Snyder in the house, the one and only. So, welcome everyone to episode 1. We got lots on the plate today. Wait for a couple minutes to see more people join.
See, who was that? Somebody wrote see that? That's Nader, isn't it?
Yeah, Nate Snyder.
Yes, he knows. IT Mark. Just tell Mark, hey, turn it off and turn it on again, baby. IT Mark. Reboot and you just use your shoe against it a few times, couple boots, and computer's all good again, buddy.
We got 2 special guests joining us today.
Who that?
We got Brian Wynn.
Oh yeah, Winner's gonna come on, eh?
And we got Jimmy the Hoop.
Mr.
Red Rocket, the douche.
Man with more nicknames than anybody else.
Yeah. Depends if you raced him.
You think he's have his hobby wing hand puppets on when he comes on?
Yeah. Every time he has it on, he has a Woody.
It sucks.
He gets so excited.
What the man will do for a free hat, eh, buddy? Disgusting.
And I was there at the race with him, and I don't want to talk about what happened or
how to get the socks.
Next thing you know, the room was off limits. 3 minutes, the room was closed. We couldn't get in.
Yeah. What's his name from Hobby Wing?
Gonzalez.
Yeah, is that when he walked out with a big smile out of your room?
Big smile. He forgot to put his pants back on.
Oh, what a way to start the show. There we go.
Look, he left the stream.
Did he?
What do you want to talk about first? We got a couple of big things to talk about before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show with the other guys.
Well, like you were talking about, let's talk about the Nats and how well it went and the entry counts and everything else, buddy. It was fantastic. Can't thank everybody enough that came. I can't thank all of you guys that help every year, all the crew. It's fantastic, buddy. It was a great turnout. Probably the first one in a long time I didn't leave the Canadian Nats, wanted to pack it in, and I hated everybody. It was this one it was great. It was great when leaving and the whole thing. It wasn't crazy. Everything went well.
It went smooth.
Everybody had a great time.
Yeah.
It was awesome. The results were crazy. You know what I mean?
Competition was insane.
Well, yeah, like we talked about, right? The stock class alone, 69, 70 cars? There was guys in the C and D and E mains that could be in the A.
Yeah, when I was calling Q4 there, 2 seconds moves you up 15 spots.
Yeah.
Moves you up a heat and a half. That's huge.
By what, 2 seconds, 3 seconds?
2 seconds, yeah.
Mod racing was fantastic. Every class was good. It didn't even matter.
Everything.
The mains went well.
Even NASCAR had some close competition in its sense.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, next year it'll be definitely just let them run in between. Everybody pick a driver and go up there, right? Whether there's 20, 30 of them, and just to watch everybody smile and laugh. It was very cool, man. It really was.
We did that with all the other guys out there.
Yeah, when you put everybody on the stand at once, that was a good idea, dude.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
We had the most amount of stock cars at any race in North America. Second biggest race in North America.
What 25.5 had? 50?
We had 50 something. I don't remember what Champs had, but no other race had anything close to that.
That's cool. Yeah, I think it's just funny how I think we were one of the last survivors to try to USGT, and it started at 9 and at 8, and we didn't have to cancel it because there was one car left before we started the show, so he took himself out. But yeah,
thank God.
Yeah,
that was a great class, but
it was because it was different at least, right? Everyone's same motor and different tire and all that kind of stuff. But for some reason petered
I
away,
think
right?
I think the LMH kind of. Well, I know the tires for sure. Everyone was pissed about the tires.
Yeah.
Those they changed the tires from the white and black rim compound to the gray rim.
Okay.
Those are harder than a puck.
Yeah.
And then I think the bodies got out of hand. It was cool back in the day when we had the Camaro, the Cadillac, the
Yeah, and you're right.
you
Some of
know,
the bodies started to look like if there was just a touring car body, anyways. Some.
pretty damn close.
Yeah.
You know, not to say any names to anybody, but yeah, it just got out of hand, and they were
Yeah.
supposed to look like supercars, hypercars, whatever, and they didn't look anything like it.
Yeah.
So I were in that class.
Yeah. No,
But it
but
was great. It was spec motor racing, right? I remember at the Nats. Remember what year was that? 2017. I think there was 100 plus cars.
110 USGT
Yeah,
cars that year.
like come on.
Now you can't get one, but there was
Can't get one.
110, bro. It was in, yeah, that was just crazy.
That was good.
But things, right? They change. I understand, right? But cool thing
You
is
guys are doing
at the
something
Nats.
right.
Well, the cool thing was too at the Nats is everyone started seems to be more mod guys or guys trying it or coming, right? Well, we have 20, 22,
Yeah.
20.
We had two A and a B.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is good
not,
these days, right? Like,
it's good. Mods tough, right?
yeah.
It's intimidating. It's very fast. It's significantly like the jump from 21.5 to mod is insane. It's completely different drive, completely different setup.
But nobody wants to take the time to learn it anymore, right? So they come out, they try it for what, about a month, couple weeks, and then go back to ring. It's going to take a long time. It doesn't matter what it is. Well, you know that from switching back and forth. You said it is tough to even on that race weekend to run mod and stock.
Yeah, I some people can do it. I can't. Like one of my programs will struggle going back and forth.
And it's usually the mod, right?
It's usually the mod because stock, like you just 21.5, you can just drive the piss out of the thing.
Okay.
Right, like you don't need to worry about throttle control. Mod, I mean, on the Nats layout, you're only full pin down the straightaway for a quarter of a second.
Yeah.
Right. The jump is huge from 21.5 to mod, so it's intimidating for some, and I don't blame them. And you know, if you crash hard, especially at some of the big tracks, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Not to throw anyone on the spot, but I mean, even Bryce, New York, Bryce had a huge wreck. Right, sent it out of the park in mod.
Oh, when you had to fix his car, thought it'd be bent like a hockey stick, right? Lucky it wasn't. He
Thank
did
God.
bend some stuff, yeah, but it's true, right?
It's true.
But just to watch even some club guys now, it's nice to see Matthew, right, sticking with it and running his car. His kid's getting better and better every time out himself, right?
You even look at the top guys at the Nats who ran mod. Like, how long have number one?
How
Look at
long-
the top four guys who they were. Right.
Sam,
like,
just take Sam by example. How long has Sam been on top right now? 10 years in mod? I'm taking a guess, but I'm assuming. Sam, if you're listening out there.
2017, 2018, I think that's when we started seeing him.
Right. Well, Lemieux always used to tell me that too. Everyone's going to go on whoever's on top goes for about a 10-year run, right? Where they're on
Maybe
top.
Sam's run's coming to an end.
No, that guy's just that guy practices at 99%, for God's sakes. I want to throw up when I watch him practice, right?
That's what you need, man. Like the top four, like how long have they been ripping mod?
Yeah.
You know, like Kevin's been ripping mod. I don't even know. When I started racing in 2016, he was at the top in mod. So
yeah.
Right.
Oh, Kevin,
yeah.
Yeah. Then he has his run as well. He never really goes away, but for a while there he was unbeatable as well, right?
Yeah.
Was that the last 2 years before?
Yeah, a couple of 2021 to 25, 24. He was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Right. And you got Adam. Like the mod top four was insane.
Yeah.
But all the classes were the same. You look at 21.5, 25.5 was crazy. You had all the big dogs now from 21.5 coming down. EA, Xavier, Aiden.
Yeah, and it was just as close racing as well, right?
Tense.
It didn't matter what it was. It was really cool to watch. Like I said,
When was the last time you saw DJ lining up car 9?
I don't think I ever had.
He won last year, right?
I think 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
I do believe 21 and a half he's won. And he barely squeezed in.
Yeah. It's crazy. Was there any surprise drivers to you? Any guys that, when you look back or when you were called most of the races that were like,
Well, the
Yeah.
DJ one was weird to see him as car 9, right? Kelso, I don't know what happened to him all weekend, but he was first in C,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if every run he had an issue, but Kelso finished third the year before, always in the A. That's how tight it was. There could not make a mistake or a bobble or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's when we talk about those. Do you keep it the same way, or do you try those qualifying points?
I've been lucky to do a couple of years of qual points at the Roar Nats. They do qual points there.
Yeah,
Personally, I love qual points. I think it's
I
way
think it's
better
cool
than.
because you got to get better than one. The only reason somebody asked me how come we didn't do it, and I just thought that. Remember, we got a lot of club level guys and local guys, and I'm thinking that's something I gotta. We'd have to have one of these and talk about it for like months ahead because I don't think they would know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, it's not
I
rocket
could be
science. You
wrong.
get you
Yeah,
get
I
points
could.
based on where you finish in the round.
Yeah, I could be
It's not.
wrong, but I always thought some guys would be like hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is. I like it. You at least got to have two, right?
Yeah, it'd be like if you do, you got to count 2 of the 4,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Because
but
you've
then
seen
you,
that. You've seen that with some races. Say, Max, just use by example. Say you're sitting car 8 or 9 in that round 3, right? And all of a sudden, round 4, some guy that broke all the time is on the track all by himself and rips one and puts himself fourth.
yep,
And all of a sudden, you're like, "What the hell?" And you're in the A quality now, knowing you got to move over a little bit for 1 or 2 cars. And this guy got to run all by himself on the track and put himself fourth overall. Is it right or wrong? I don't know. You know what I mean?
yeah. It also like at the Nats, especially because it's new carpet, subfloor grip still rises. Like Q1 is almost. I mean, look at the A mains. No one's Q1 stands.
Hey, yeah. Oh, do you notice
So
too? It's cool that you guys, you and Bryce working together all the time. How you guys noticed that the second round and the fourth round, the cars in mod had a push.
yeah,
But rounds 1 and 3, the cars were perfect
yeah.
or good. You
Round
know what I
3, the
mean?
car was really good.
Yes. And then round 4, even Bryce comes off. I should have changed something, Dad. I knew it had pushed in round
Yeah,
2. So round 4, I should have known. And we all came off the stand, and everybody said the same.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
back to the story,
interesting.
right back to the Nats. I was just thinking of that because you were thinking of Sam, right?
Yeah,
I thought the coolest thing at the Nats this year was Bryce telling me that Sam going up on the stand with him and qualifier 1. It was about noon or 1 o'clock, and that's when the mall was busy and they were standing 2 or 3 deep. And just before that, that's when some cars were sent into the banners and all that, and all the kids and those high school kids were all there cheering. And
yeah,
I couldn't when Sam actually told I'm a little nervous. Bryce says,
yeah.
"What do you got to be nervous about? You're like at the Worlds, you're in the A, and you win everything." He goes, "I
Yeah.
never ran in front of people before." What do you mean not in front of people? He goes, "No, it's just racers. There's actually." Sam's like, "I don't want to crash and these people cheer."
Yeah.
So that you know
Well,
what I mean, buddy. When we talk about the mall race before and stuff like that, it is. I guess that's what it really is, right? Yeah, the track's smaller. Yes, it does this. Yes, we're missing this and that, right? We always try to improve, like you said. We ever get together with the team there and go over the list of stuff to improve on.
yeah. I mean,
No, I mean from speaker systems to this to that to. There's always stuff, right?
yeah. I mean, the track's small stuff. Like, what's one of the biggest dirt oval races in the world?
Chili Bowl. That's the one I want to go to.
And how
Well, you know
small
me,
is that
right?
track?
World of Outlaws or sprint car racing is my favorite racing of all. Even though it's oval, which shocks everybody because
Yeah.
oval RC is not one of my, you know what I mean. But sprint car racing. But yes, off my bucket list, I gotta go to the Chili Bowl one time. Why? Because look how many cars are there, and they're racing in a phone booth.
On a small ass track,
I'm like, yeah.
right?
So I guess in the end, like you always said, or we always say, it's always the same for everybody, eh? Hey, there
Yeah.
you go. Robbins Racing. Is that better? Yes, it is. Before whatever the hell you had before.
Well,
Frankie,
I don't even know what
that a
Hun
boy.
said. Hun said from before.
Frankie Tomato, buddy. Look at that.
Frankie's in the house. Team Orca. Thornton
Yeah.
Cycles in the house.
Dorn Cycle. The man that gives away giant bicycles that we've seen on what's that talk show over in Europe?
Yeah, RC Racing TV.
Yeah.
International news from the event was that EA won a bike.
Yeah, that was it. Didn't even matter
Yeah.
about the race. He won
Not
a
one of the
giant
biggest
bike, they said.
races.
A
Yeah.
giant bike.
Yeah. So, but I think the Nats, no one thinks about it on the international, like not international, but North American scale. When we talk about the big races, New York, Champs,
Yeah.
Snowbirds. I don't know why we still talk about Snowbirds with all due respect.
You know
I
what?
like,
And then it's a give and take each way, right? Because Win always says that's why he enjoys this race so much is that he goes, "You, Mark, don't have no ego, and you don't whatever, and it's almost treated like a huge club race. Everybody comes, great time, but on the level and the competition is fantastic. But right,
yeah,
he's just like, it's a good way you treat it that way. And in other
it's a
ways,
good combination.
yeah. And he goes, I wish you would treat it right. That it is the second biggest race in North America.
Yeah.
That's when I was bugging him yesterday or last week when I told him, no, it'll be number one again. He's just like, oh, there you go. Cocky Showtime's coming back now, right? Oh, yeah. So we'll be number one again. No problem.
It's going to be hard to beat champs.
That's what he says. That's what he said to me. I said,
It's
oh,
going
we'll
to be
beat
hard
that,
to beat
right?
champs.
I said, oh, we'll beat that, right? And he just starts, oh, here we go again. There's no, right? You and your mouth, right?
Well, I think you guys did a good job. I think you really like this year. It took the Nats to the next level. In terms of people coming, posts,
Yeah.
everyone was happy. I didn't hear too much complaints.
No. Well, there's always complaints, right? That's, my problem, Max, is that, and of course, a couple bad apples, which I always know there should be, and I snap and, right? But I learned something, right? I learned that I can actually run from center court, a light jog. I tried it. Good thing Chantel didn't see me actually working out. I jogged all the way to the Squire, right?
Yeah.
I had 2 rum and cokes and got back just as that other heat was coming off the driver's stand. So that basically took me about 7 minutes to run there, drink
Yep.
2, and when I came back, buddy, all was forgotten.
And you ran slow.
To jog back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen me jog.
That was
yeah.
your jog because I saw you had those. I think you were wearing Braden, your son's type skinny jeans at the time because you like to go in his closet and shop in his clothes.
Oh, everybody, you like my clothes. When I showed up that day, buddy, you know I was styling when I showed up in Toronto. You didn't even know who it was. Walked right past you, right?
White Nikes.
Yeah. Oh, you like my new kicks, my Max
I
shoes
like
for my birthday? Oh, yeah. Give me some Max shoes. I walked in and said I need Max shoes. These are the ones.
But I think the national talks a little bit like, RC racing in Canada now, I think, especially on road, is starting to be a little bit seen. Roar Nats changed their logo to include the Canadian flag in there.
Yeah.
Second biggest race in North America now.
And like you said, now with, somebody like Corgi out west there with Schumacher and all that coming back, he already says him and some guys are definitely coming back next, right? So, and there's at least 5-10 guys that are dynamite drivers out there too. If they come, oh my God, buddy, everyone just gets pushed back another notch, or everyone's got to up their game one more level, right?
Well, Wayne Mall, right?
Yeah,
that's the guy right there.
That guy's a weapon.
Any level,
yeah.
Right.
There's a whole.
And we even got more international teams coming next year to the Nats. We already got confirmed. They've told us, right?
Yeah, that'd be amazing as well, right? All this to the Seaway Mall.
Welland, Ontario. It's sad that they come and this is what we show them what Canada's like. And it's Welland. Yeah. I mean, Jimmy came from Welland, so that explains everything for you.
Yeah, no, he'll say he's from Fenwick.
Oh,
right?
Don't know if that's any better.
No. But yeah, I still remember that, buddy. Like years ago, before Ernie passed away of Trinity, we were down. That's when I first brought Bryce to the Snowbirds. Yep. So that was COVID year, right? Yes. No, pre-COVID. Just as it started.
19, I think, right?
Yeah, just as right. We were there in January. The in-laws were down there for those 3 months, and we went down there and went to the race, and then COVID disaster happened, right?
Yeah.
Right, we're coming back, and to see him after all those years, and the first thing he wanted to know is meet me, and wanted to know, I got to know, why are all these people coming to some old Target up in Canada? But we're coming now. So that big one that didn't happen, even Trinity was coming. Can I bring a booth? I said, you can bring whatever you come on, right? But he was shocked. He goes, yeah, I have no idea why is that happening in some mall in a closed down Target, and everybody's coming.
Well, RC racing is so in our Niagara region, so strong.
It is,
Ontario,
buddy.
Like.
And Max, I've been in the hobby now for 30. How do you tell you how old I am, right?
Yeah.
38 years. So I started when I was 15. But yeah, and it's always been. And nobody knows why. You have more races here than Toronto. How many people live in Toronto?
Yeah. Well, look at how many, even in from us, a 2-hour drive, how thankful we are to have some permanent facilities or racetracks, right? We got Rose City, our home track. Yep. RC Niagara is 10-minute drive for me.
Yep.
We got Phoenix and Toronto, which is just over an hour. And we got Windsor now opening their brand new facility.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
So we're so lucky to have these facilities nearby. I was talking to someone at Roar Nats and they race once a month at a teardown track. Yeah.
Wow.
So once a month they roll out carpet similar to RC Niagara and they race, and they got to wait another 4 weeks to be able to rip it again. So I don't think people realize how lucky we are to have what we have.
Well, the only thing I ever seen over all these years too is that any place that tries to open a permanent track. So even when Steve first did, and we were traveling, this is 90, 91, 92, and we were traveling all throughout the states and all that. He took pictures and wrote down all kinds of stuff of every track we went to. So on Highway 20, which right you think is even better, right? On Highway 20, between the middle of St. Catharines and Welland, and he built everything. So the inside had a full hobby shop, which he already had a hobby shop, but he brought the RC stuff there. Then a full carpet track, all the pitting inside. Outside had a big driver stand, right? With one side with a dirt over, the other side with a 1/8 track that you actually flipped some tubes and made it 1/10. And again, the problem is nobody came.
It's crazy.
I'll never understand that. Meaning no one came. They came, but it basically did the same thing as what's happening now or whatever. It split everything down the middle, right? Because again, I'm not knocking any club or whatever, but it was behind Caver's furniture store. It was like a club racing thing, and half them stayed there, and the other half came to the permanent place.
Yeah.
And then the permanent place can't survive with only half the people when he was expecting. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A bad day would be 40 guys,
Yep.
right? And a good
Yeah.
day was 20.
Yeah.
It lasted its same thing as everybody else does. Like from Fast Cats, I don't think you ever.
I never been.
Oh, but Catcher Callis, they were like 10 years advanced more than anybody else, right? And that was right where they were in Oakville.
Yeah.
They're in the middle for everybody. So it took for everybody here 40 minutes and all the trying 40 minutes and still couldn't survive.
JB showed me photos of that actually probably about a month ago because everyone talked about fast cats, this track, right? So I was like, shit, does anyone have photos I can see this place? And Jamie showed me, oh my God. If we had that now, be there every day.
Yeah.
Like just had a little bit of everything.
It just comes to realize it's bad to say, and I'll say it here because it's us, is that every permanent place, what happens is it ends up being the top guys or whatever, or the best in that area. And then the other ones get intimidated or don't want to go or whatever. And the other guys put in more time. And then it's the top guys that are left. That was like the Fast Cats, you know what I mean? So I had the Martin Crisp and Whiteman and all these other guys, right? And and at the end it was just them at the end. That's why I like guys. That's why I love guys like at Rose City, guys like Z and all those guys that come.
Yeah.
Right. They're willing to be that bottom person, and it doesn't bother them. To them, they're improving, and they are improving a ton. Huge. And all the questions they ask and everything, but they don't mind finishing last or second to last. And even when you ask them, no, it doesn't bother me. I'm learning so much. I'm getting better here.
Is that what happened with Luz too? I was lucky to go to Luz one time.
Yes, I do believe the same thing with Luz. If I could say anything, the problem with Luz, it was behind his toes, which is perfect for him, right? But it was an hour and a half or so from here, right? And again, I always keep on thinking, well, because there was nothing around it, or he had to drive far to go get food, right? But again, look at Rose City, look whatever. It doesn't matter. Either people are going to come or not come, right? But Luz, people didn't like it too because they got their ass kicked when they went there. Yeah. They had like 10 guys or 12 guys that were very good. All had very good equipment. You know what I mean? Even Lou at the end was he'd run a car you never heard of. Okay. You know what I mean? And bring it in because it was cheap. He'd still win. But guys were, you know what I mean? But he even tried that way to keep people there, or, you know what I mean?
Well, I think now more than ever, car matters less than people actually think. ETS round 5 just finished a couple weeks ago, and using A-Maid as the judgment point, out of the top 11 cars that made the show, 8 different manufacturers in the A-Maid.
Yeah, and that's what's incredible about the Euros or Asia and all that kind of stuff, is that there'll be that many different cars in A-Maid. And for North America, for some reason, it's either going to be an Automatics or X-Ray field. There's nobody else. Now, is that because nobody else brings in another car, really, or has a team of you know what I mean? I know Cali has some Mugen guys, and I think there's some Yokohama, right? But The standard in North America is those two cars. Like, I'm just asking that. Like, see Corgi now with the Schumacher, and he's sponsored, right? He's got Wayne Ma, he's got Douglas. You know what I mean?
I think we're all
And they got
brainwashed in North America. I mean, we have tons of options. We have, X-Ray and Osmatics. We have Destiny with Brian Wynn now. You can easily get. You have Associated, when you can get their car super fast.
Yeah.
You have Schumacher, like you mentioned. You have SP1.
Yes.
So you have all these cars available to run, but I think we're brainwashed. I mean, ETS and those, the worlds when we watch shows that any car can make the show.
But is it, Max? Is it because there's not enough? What do you call it? Not supply and demand. You know what word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? Like, say if Volker, the new the Mugen car runs well all the time. Now, if you ran a Mugen car, Max goes and buys a Mugen. How many guys got a Mugen around here? So basically, you're by yourself.
Yeah, that's
exactly what Nate said.
Yes.
I'm just saying, say, for instance, MT Hobbies back in the day became Mugen. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, you take yourself and this one and that guy and make a team, and all of a sudden you do like everybody else. Would it grow? I don't know.
Yeah. It's tough to say. And I think so as Nate said here, and as Rich was saying, lack of parts and supports.
Yeah. Swindles.
Windows is here.
He's got the internet way up there.
Let's check who we got. We got a bunch of people. We got Paxton in the house here. Frankie Tomato saying, "What's up?" We got Mrs. DB here in the house. We'll talk nice about her because she's the good one of the two.
Yeah, that's definitely.
She's got to
live with Jimmy, buddy.
I don't even.
You got no answer, right?
I got no answer. But we got Swindells here. We got Nate here. We got Louis here. Oh, Louis. So
Louis Delamouille.
Yeah. Let's before we bring our special guests in, let's swing back quickly to the Nats.
Okay.
So
it's already
two
booked.
more things I want to talk about. A couple more things.
It's booked.
First thing we got to talk about is your performance, because prior to the Nats,
Ian Smith, my sponsor, gave me an inferior car.
Listen, prior to the Nats, all I heard was ba ba ba, amen. That's all I know. 25-5, I'll dominate. Shit slow, blah blah blah. And then I called your first qualifier.
It was the car.
But we just talked about any car can make the show.
And then the second round, somebody put more dots out there, curbing. I rolled over that one 3 times.
You own the track. So I just want to say,
I got a feeling you put other dots out there before I went out.
I didn't need to put more dots because you sucked in Q1. It's not like you were on heaters and I had to slow you down. You were. Well,
you know what, Max? It's not good to win your own race. We'll leave it at that. Okay.
But do
you think Glenn Steyer's winning Usher weekend? It's not good. It's not good to take home your own trophies, buddy. If you let other people win. And did you see how well people drive when they drive against me? Ian Smith put on a performance. He's up there shaking. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Well, I just wanted to beat you so bad and not lose to my own car. Right? Not a mistake by some of these guys, but everybody that was in my heats was not a mistake by any of them because they wanted to beat me so bad. Frankie Tomato, right? Frankie would go back to the pits all the time and go. First thing he said to Bryce, I'm ahead of your father by 2 people.
And ask Frankie when the last time he touched the radio was. And he still whooped your ass.
No, did I qualify him?
At the end of the day, he beat you.
Well,
I see a DNF in the C main. I saw you fly off the stand in 3 laps or whatever you did.
I did something foolish there. A little rage quitting. My kid told me I should be embarrassed.
You should be.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, April 1st.
April 1st next year, 2027 edition Nats. I think it's going to be.
Think we'd hit 400 entries?
Easily.
That'd be cool.
Easily. I would bet on that all day. What do we have this year? 340,
350 something. We had 168 guys.
65, 67.
Yeah.
We easily hit 400 next year. I already got probably about 12 to 15 names of guys coming next year. Some that weren't here like all new guys.
Hey, look at that, Frankie. What do you rate right there? Check that out.
Let's see, Frankie. He beat you. Out qualified and beats different. But let's talk about these two Ohio boys
Who's
quickly.
this? Look at Mike. See what happened when you're a car owner? According to you, it was the best car ever ran. Well, I was just being polite.
Well, in practice, you said it was dial, don't touch it, don't touch it. You know,
He gave me a motor I could have walked beside. I could, my jog that I went to the Squire. I could have jogged beside that car. He says, maybe I should give you a better motor. He goes, I made your car just a little slower than mine so I could beat you.
So obviously your driving is not that good.
Who's Robin's rate? Okay, maybe I liked it better when I didn't see his name. Your car looked great. So did the driver,
361
right?
entries according to Nate.
There. Nate the Great, the IT, right? IT guy, So 361. So we should be able to hit 4.
We should be easily able.
The Riddler's here.
We got the Riddler in the house. Swindell's saying you chose to run a 45.5 motor.
Is that a crawler motor? You think Swindles is on a bike, one of those stationary bikes to get internet and power where he's living now?
I haven't seen him on his simulator in forever because he can't get Wi-Fi to run that.
No. He still got snow up there. You know that?
He's shoveling this morning. I cut my grass. He shoveled his.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get to the juice and potatoes of the show.
Okay, buddy. What we got?
Fiber. I think he's talking about the cereal.
He had his fiber.
Yeah.
He had his fiber.
Yeah. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show. The big question we had, and it's something that it keeps getting talked about, in all sorts of racing on road.
You're gonna say it?
Oh, I'm gonna say it.
Oh, here we
go. I'm gonna say it nice and proud because it doesn't make sense to me why we have the same classes and then you change your body and it's a new damn class. Makes no sense. Imagine if we had all those guys together. So, two things before we bring these guys in. There's two perspectives to look at here: the racing perspective and the track owner / race organizer.
Okay.
Because you, from a race organizer, you want every damn class in the world.
No, right? Really?
Well, let's wait. Let's bring these guys in and we'll watch.
No, well, I'll tell you. What happens is that if I don't offer your class or your favorite class, even though mostly everybody in this hobby says the hobby's too expensive, but everyone has 2, 3, 4 cars, right? Let me get that off my chest. But if I don't offer your class, then you tell me, I get a message saying that, Max Showtime, I am not coming now because you don't offer this class and it's my favorite. I said, but you have 3 other cars, Max. Yeah, but that one's my favorite, so I'm not coming now. It's tough, and every area has a different. Like, how many VTA cars run at Niagara? 30?
25, as you say, on a weekly basis.
And how many does Rose City get? That's 20 minutes away. 8?
7? And on a 7 on a good race, like on a winter race day.
World GTR gets how many are in that area down here? You go to Toronto, an hour away, you can't find a World GTR car. So it's I wish it was like the old days when there was 2 classes, right? But it'll never happen again, in my opinion, right? And again, if you want me to be my rude self, there's a lot of trophy chasers out there, buddy. So they will pick a class where they know they can make the A main and whatever. And that's why I can't get through guys' heads. You'd rather be first in the D with 70 guys than first in the A with 12. You know what I mean?
Why do you think I ran mod to make the A? Because if I ran 21.5, it'd be way harder. 25.5.
Modified, I know people are going to be bitchy at me, but modified is a totally different weapon, buddy. It really is. There's only so many that, right? And it takes a lot of. So even then, mod, out of the 18 or 19 guys that were doing it, you could pick your top 4, basically. But the next 6 was pretty much, you didn't know who was going to make it, right? Oh, you want to talk about somebody you said that shocked me? About a class that made the show?
Who's that?
Robert Quick, touring stock. Yeah. If you made me a list of the top 10 of those 70 guys, I'm sorry, I would have never had him in the top 10. But he drove the wheels off that car. And then Bryce drove his car in practice, and Bryce goes, his car's got some damn power, right? Yeah. And Bryce helped him with some setup or whatever. But yeah, he made the show, man. The guy wheeled it to put it in the show.
But he's been putting the work in.
Well,
he's
there's
traveling.
Difference.
He's coming to Rose City. I know he's gone over the border a couple of times to.
That's right. He travels 4 hours. That's 4 hours to come see us, bro.
he's putting the work in. And no, and again, no offense to Robert, but now he's a guy on the map for us for sure in Canadian RC. You know, me and my guys, we had a list of top 10, and I did not have him in the show.
You didn't
I
either?
had no. And no offense to Quick, I didn't even have him in my maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, but he stunned. He stunned everybody. He put in a great run.
Well, even like the Ottawa boys, right? I don't believe they run as much as they used to. I think they run only a few times a year, but those group of 4 there, right?
Yeah.
Gordy, Zoof, Glover's kid, they could all still wheel.
And they don't have, sadly, the facilities that we have. You see the track they run on?
Yeah. They bought our other black carpet.
Black carpet, yeah.
The old stuff that's coming up. So
because they're still on gray carpet.
Yep.
And by the pictures, the track looks smaller than center court.
I do believe it is. But yeah.
It looks way narrower.
But like we talked about before, Maxie, at least it's someone's doing that work for giving them a place to run. Because I don't know how far would Ottawa be to CTSR? 3? Ottawa, Montreal?
Sure. Yeah. They don't go often, so I can't see it being any close. They go the odd time, but
I know. I guess when they do go, they spend like 2 days there practicing or something like that. But yeah, that group of guys can still wheel cars too. It's always fun to see them. I love that they still. And that's what we talk about, the hobby, buddy. So those guys have been in the hobby probably. I remember them always being around since I've been in, and to watch those 3-4 guys get together every Canadian Nats and leave their family and whatever else, and they do their traveling together, and that's their once a year thing or whatever. Maybe they go to some other races, I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool that they decide to do that every year. Yep. And their friendship is how much bonding it is still over a little toy car is incredible.
Crazy. Changes your life.
Yeah.
So, a couple more things.
Yep.
I have a couple of drivers that really shocked me this weekend. Robert picked me one. So I'll just share mine, and I want you to share yours. Louis in 12 scale stock. Remember Louis?
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to read this thing. I can't do two things at once. You know that. So
anyway, old.
Yeah.
Louis won
last Friday, buddy. 54.
Happy birthday from the show.
Thanks, buddy.
So Louis put on a hell of a run. That's a driver that we need to really watch. All the big races. Hopefully he travels to the next couple of years. Tennessee. I know Louis watching. He was a competitive racer, but not running with the top guys.
Okay.
But I hear he's been at the track running nonstop. Him and Bale's been running together.
Okay.
He was on TQ runs. He qualified second, led most of the race. So I think Louis is the guy we got to watch. And then his teammate, Aiden Hensdale, recently switched to Automatics. And Aiden's fast before, too.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. Very fast. Champs, he's, top 5 car in 25.5. 25 guys right there.
Right?
Awesome Town boys, yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty cool to be running with EA at that level and Xavier. So Aiden's one. Paxton Herman's another guy that's on my radar to watch.
Yeah.
Young buck. We'll get him on the show eventually. He ran 4 classes and
hey, my rattlesnaker. Mark, you missed the old days with only 12 scale, right? 12 scale was amazing back then, right? Touring car is right. The only thing with 12 scale now, buddy, is I think it's killing it with this foam tire thing, 1 or 2 runs and done. I think that's why you see the decline. That's just my opinion on that, right? Like, who can really afford that or to be that competitive all the time? And they show up to race with 18 sets trued and ready to go. You know what I mean? That's a lot of damn money.
I probably went through 10 spec tires, 10 sets.
Right. There's got to be a fix for it, man.
You went laughing.
Who is it?
I went through 10 sets. So each qualifier, I need a fresh set. Each main, I put on a fresh set. There's 7.
Who's third? Is it possible that foam tires and rubber tires can be competitive together? Hell no.
Like in the same sort?
12 scale or touring car?
Either or, it doesn't matter.
Oh no, touring car, buddy. Touring car foam. Who was sick, Max? You never drove one, have you?
No.
Oh, buddy, it's
Does Gravity still make them? Can I still buy them?
Yeah, I think you might still have
new class, baby, new class. I'm starting a new class.
Just imagine, you know how stuck your 12 scale is.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your touring mod that's stuck?
After the show, I'm going to order some sets.
It's just stupid, buddy. And that's what ruined that one too, right? We were truing those things in 1 run, maybe 2 runs on a set.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's stupid. I mean, ETS, they run foam tire in F1. They're not allowed to true. So there's definitely ways around it. But he says 12 scale. No way. It's not even close.
No, not with that.
Doesn't matter. It's not even close.
Yeah.
All right. I
Okay.
think it's time.
Is he there? Is he waiting?
We got
Is Sock
two
Puppet
sexy
Man?
mofos waiting to come on this show.
Is Sock Puppet Man gonna show up?
Two fo. So, all right. Up first, straight out of Welland. And depending on who
Don't
you
say
ask,
he's from Welland. He's not.
depending on who you ask, he's either the Red Rocket or the douche. Okay? And that usually depends if you've ever raced with him before.
You decide on which one he is, buddy.
So he's the only guy that will
go ahead, Brody.
That will lap you.
The Red Rocket.
The Red Rocket. But he's the only guy that you'll lap. He'll hit you.
Yes.
And then he'll say you're too slow.
Yeah, you should have. Right? Ask
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
Ask Sam. He told Sam he didn't come out of the corner fast enough.
Yeah.
Sam flew off the track to try to get away from him.
But don't worry, if you haven't been hit by him yet, don't worry, your turn's coming.
Well, don't feel special, right? He gets everybody, so it doesn't. You know what I mean? Some people might feel special, or you. All right, he took me out.
Yeah.
There's a long list.
Let's bring him in. DB, everybody.
He dressed up for it too. Look at this.
Oh yeah, that's
DB racing shirt.
Steph, can you iron my clothes for me? Hey, Steph, can you get my hat?
You still got something there for that hat, buddy. It's here.
Yeah, I know. You're just jealous. You're just jealous.
You got your socks and your get on?
I'm good, boys. I've been just listening to you chirp away all night here. So
what's in the back of your shirt? Is that the one? Sausage Sender
on the back of it, boy.
Uncle Jimmy.
Jimmy, thanks for coming on.
Hey, definitely. You guys are too slow because I watched you race and you get in my way. But anyways.
Oh my God.
What main were you in for 21.5?
Oh, good enough.
We'll leave it there. All right, guys.
Where were you? Oh yeah, you check it out.
I have to give you guys all a spot up, so I didn't run the class. Everyone's like, why you run 21.5? Give everyone a trophy. One more up. All right.
What do you got?
Coming up next, a man fueled by beer.
Captain America himself.
Bright pink bodies and a flaming leg tattoo that's probably adding at least a tenth of lap out there. He usually rocks the legendary Shut Up and Drive t-shirt from Dumper Speed Shot. If it sticks or rips and looks questionable, he's running it. Brian Wynn.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. There he is.
Boy, that's...
Is that gray, that goatee? What color is... What's he got going on there? So it's like Hogan's. Is that like
blonde.
Hogan's goatee? Is it blonde now?
It's always been blonde. My wife calls it gray, but she's colorblind.
Okay.
Brian, how are you, my man?
Good. I'm just listening to you guys say a lot of incorrect things. So
people don't know that you guys have been on the call this whole time listening, shaking your head, both you idiots. But now you have time to speak your mind.
I can tell you this. I have a whole crew coming from the western part of the United States for next year's Canadian Nats.
Amazing, Brian. Thank you, buddy.
Are
you sponsoring? Are you being the main sponsor again next year?
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. Of course I am. Yeah, I got to have glasses. I can't read this. Is the print's like this big. I can't read it. So after I left Canada, I was home for 2 days and I went to Montana, which ended up being the fourth biggest race in North America, out in the middle of nowhere. And I got a whole crew coming.
Nice.
Yeah, they already know the dates. They're ready to go.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you very much.
So we're gonna blow 400 out of the water next year, I think.
That'd be cool. Be amazing.
Long days.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, see? There we go.
Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative.
Also, I think we just got to revise the schedule a little bit, make something work.
No.
Or we get rid of some classes.
Hey, that's the best idea.
There we go. Yeah, let's see how many tracks we can put out of business tonight. Let's start cutting them. You go first. I tell you, every class you cut, we're gonna call somebody and tell them that they're fired. Let's start with Turing Mod, because I want to call Kevin and say, guess what, buddy, you're fired. You don't have a job.
That's the biggest one, Brian. You know, people talk about that, whatever, but think about what class do you actually ever get rid of?
That's the thing. And what criteria do you use?
Well,
You do, but-
USGT helped us this year. So Max brought that up earlier. There was 110 of them at that last Target race. USGT had 110 cars. Now in the end, we had one. One this year.
Yeah.
He decided to switch classes finally.
The class killed itself, so it's fine. Next.
Yeah.
You know, look at 12th mod. Had what, 6 cars? What are you going to do? You going to cut that? No. It's the premier class.
Yes.
You know,
and that's there for the people in the mall to walk by and see how fast these cars can actually go. That's the only real reason.
How far they fly?
if we're going to leave fast classes, then let's cut the slowest class. Let's cut GT12. That was only one of your biggest. Let's start there. How's that going to feel in the old pocketbook?
Only 24 cars in GT12.
Was it really more than 24, wasn't there?
Nope, 24.
Okay, so 24 times the entry fee. All right, Mark, well, you're out that money. So what else are we going to cut? Let's keep cutting.
So you obviously don't think we need to cut classes.
Everybody keeps going back to the old days of 12th mod, 12 stock. You got to remember, back in the 1900s, there was no such thing as a touring car.
No.
So that's all we had. There wasn't other choices. So
the one that Jimmy always brings up when we talk about is it's not even to do with 12 scale, because you figure 12 scale's got what, 3 classes? 4? 3?
Yeah,
4?
3.
But it's
4.
It's 4.
Stock, super stock, mod, and GT12.
Yeah, it's touring car seems to always create another class. But I understand why you need 25.5. I thought it was BS at first, and then I realized it is needed because the cars are too fast. So 25.5 is at least somebody can get in the hobby or switch over to touring car from whatever class, and it's not crazy fast.
Yeah, but it used to be. Now it's the motors, the way they changed it. They're fast, almost as fast as 21.5.
Yeah.
You look lap times, it's crazy.
EA would have been middle back of B in 21.5 with his 25.5 time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some fast guys at 25.5 that were back there.
That rule change is what hurt that class, that motor.
What hurt it?
Oh yeah, it's too fast now. You can't get novice guys coming into that.
At a national championship event, there's not really going to be a novice class.
But you got to look at it overall, club race and all that too.
So what are the two if you have a novice class, what's the novice class right now in RC on road racing? GT12?
Well, VTA would be it probably.
Or Losi NASCAR.
NASCAR is out of the question. We're not.
The problem is we tried that at our track win, and the only guys that had Losi NASCARs were guys running 4 other classes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Bringing in new people like it should.
To run that shit.
Yep.
But Windsor had 20 of them, and the vast majority of them were new people. And when I was there racing, which Mark bowed out of, the people running Losi NASCAR, Brandon Marshall was telling me that 5 of those people had already gotten into GT12 or VTA, or they still do USGT up there. So some people had gone there. So it's doing its intended thing, putting people into the hobby. But you got to look at each track on an individual circumstance. I mean, it's, NASCAR does bring in. I mean, there was a guy pitting in my room. He was one of the Windsor guys.
He only came with that car.
The Canadian Nats was his 5th or 6th ever RC race ever. I talked to that guy, and he was having the time of his life.
Yeah, he came back and ran the oval the next weekend, I think too.
Yeah, he didn't leave. He stayed down here. He had some family or something. He stayed here to run oval. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I think his name was Brian. Was it Brian Gamble? Yeah, super nice guy, and he was just kind of in awe of the whole thing because it's the first time he'd seen anything that big, of course. And he couldn't beat the smile off that dude's face, man. He was having so much fun, and he made the main. He was over the moon that he made the main.
So Rattlesnaker here. So you guys are diehard on-road guys. What is your ideal solution to this too many classes, and what do you think needs to bring in new racers? It's a great question, Rattlesnaker. That's what we're here talking about today. I don't think there's a solution.
Look at off-road. They got intermediate, sportsman, intermediate, expert, pro, and plus 40 of e-buggy.
I think they got plus 50 too now, don't they?
In some places, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're going to call the that's running that race, they got over 1,000 entries. You're going to tell him to cut one? I don't think so, Slim. It's not happening. It's
the two perspectives. You got the racer perspective, and then you got the organizer perspective.
Yeah.
Organizer, you want as much shit as possible.
If you don't have butts in the seats and entries on the board and cash going in the till, then why are we doing it? I mean, people don't like to think about the fact that these big events are businesses. It's the business. It has to make money. Mark and Mike aren't doing this out of charity because they just got nothing else to do this week. They're just going to hang out in the mall and donate time and money. They're there to make money. It's a business, and people don't like to talk about that stuff. But in the end, if that race doesn't make money, it's going to go away, just like any other big race. So, if you know, I'm happy to see NASCARs there. I mean, I don't enjoy sharing the track with them. I have no interest in running one. But if that guy, I keep going back to that same dude. You couldn't beat he was having more fun than all four of us combined. And who's doing it wrong, him or us?
Yeah.
Well, does it get to a point where there's too many classes? Like Nats, we had 14. So let's say next year we have 20 classes. Is that too much there?
I do tech at the big oval races that are held up this way, and they have more than that.
I saw the what's the track that their Flameworks? They're posted their oval banner. Andy Brooks' track.
Oh no, the gate. Norcar.
They got 15 oval classes on their banner.
Yeah, and you should see their practice run so efficient it would make a road guy sick to his stomach. They all practice together, they intermingle, and it's the most efficient thing you ever seen. Road guys could actually learn from oval guys on how to run practice. Instead of GT12 cars being out there with 27 mod touring cars, even though there's only 8 signed up, there's always 27 of them on the track at the same time. But Bryce practiced probably more than anybody at the race. So here's guys with GT12s and other cars trying to run, and the oval guys, they know what classes run together, and they go out and they run, and they're doing it on a 4-second track, and they all get along. Yeah. We're on a 10-second track. We should definitely be able to get along in practice.
Yeah.
Well, where'd you go, Max? That had the 2 lines.
A bunch of races now are doing it. Yeah. Nats had it.
Yeah.
I think Snowbird started it years ago. I think with a couple different lines, and they used to have a guy that would stand down there and coordinate. I don't think he's around anymore, but the oval guys just police it themselves.
Yeah, I saw that firsthand at Snowbirds, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. The truck guys got, I don't know the class, truck guys got together, the mod guys, had their turn, and they were coordinating, talking it out. It was really cool to see.
Well, it was the same thing when we went down to RCCA last month in Texas. It's slow line, fast line, and slow line got two practice sessions, and fast line got 1 to every 2. So it worked out pretty good. And if you wanted to, and then they had open practice at the end, right? But that's also just coordinating that from the event organizer and setting that up for that. The mall is tough because we're kind of confined on the space.
Yeah.
Going into the start of the track there, but I think it's something we could just rearrange some stuff and make it work better.
Do it European way. You run the heat board.
And we did that at Roar Nats too. I mean, obviously there was too much practice.
There was too much practice at that race for sure.
Yeah.
But before the qualifying day, we ran our heat. So we had 3 minutes on the track. We ran with our heat with our guys, and that was practice you got for the morning.
At European races, there is 0 open practice at a European.
So you agree with that?
It would make these people cry.
Yeah. You agree with no practice?
Swindle's not being nice.
Well, he's not wrong.
Oh.
You were behind me. I think of the 4 of us on the screen, you were the lowest finisher of the 4.
Yeah, I think he was actually. Yeah, I agree.
By far.
Yeah.
He came last place in the C, I think.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, that can't be right. No. Something's
After all that talk.
something's not right.
And you're the one running the computer.
Yeah, I was running computer and
he doesn't know how to operate it.
I did it both.
You had the advantage. You could have slipped a lap and nobody would have noticed. You would have been higher.
He doesn't know how to.
I don't know how.
Oh, Mark, where's your chain? I thought you were going to wear your chain tonight.
He left that at the track.
Mine's hanging up right there.
Oh, you got your, I can't see. Your damn screen's too small.
It's there.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Now, yeah. I had to get it from the head.
From the headboard?
Hey, was it on the headboard?
It was on the headboard.
He's got an assistant.
There we go.
So the thing that I guess from class point of view, you have LMH and you have 25.5, both use the same motor. You know, is there a way to combine that somehow that we can, you know, you look at, you had 24 guys in one class and 49 in the other. You're splitting those people that have the same car. Some of those guys run both classes with one car.
Yeah.
But five screws, change front bumper, rear body post, and boom, done. Takes a minute.
Mhm.
But LMH is the class nobody asked for. We 25.5 touring was already a thing.
Yeah.
And then they just shoved that down our throat because
Wasn't LMH supposed to be 17.5 originally?
they tried.
It's different, yeah.
Because that was in
Way too fast on the size tracks we have. You know, maybe on a big asphalt track you get away with it, but you know, the motors keep getting faster and the tracks aren't getting any bigger.
Yeah.
And people get caught up in the whines, like, oh, like Mark said, oh, I thought 25.5 was going to be slow. Why? Because the number's 25.5? No. It's stock. It's stock touring. It's the new stock touring. The numbers keep changing because the motors keep getting faster and the tracks aren't getting any bigger.
well, Mark ran 45.5, I thought.
Yeah, they gave me a crawler motor. Ian gave me a crawler motor in mine.
At least the
Yeah, that's
fast
why you
check.
hit the wall.
But now we see where Bryce gets it from hitting the dots.
But yeah, to me personally, and again, I don't want to offend anyone, I hate the LMH shit. Like,
I mean,
don't understand why RC racing has to look like real cars. Like, why do we have this motion that RC has to look? What does a sprint car look like in real life?
Sprint car.
What does a late model look like now in real life?
A late model.
A door wedge.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? So why can RC cars have their own unique bodies? Like, why does they have to look like a whatever? You know?
Well,
Who cares?
I have my own theory on that, but I'll stay out of it because I don't want to rattle too many cages. But they really missed the mark.
Because you got to sell stuff.
Yeah. USGT was dead. Like everybody knows, it's either dying or dead, depending on
It
where
was
you
one
are.
of the best classes, though.
Just take that class, put the slicks on it for whatever your spec touring car type is, and put the LMH body on that. Done. USGT's back. Change the name of it, LMH. You know, as an IMSA fan and somebody who goes to IMSA races, I'm all about it. I love it. But you know, if you're going to be a 25.5 racer these days, you really have to have both. You got to have an LMH body and a touring car body. And when you decide you want to go somewhere, what are they running? You just get ready to do that. Where I see too many people that, you know, there's a race, a track posts a race. They're having a trophy race. Here we go. Class is listed, 25.5 touring. And then the very first post, oh, no LMH? No, there's no LMH. I read all the words. There's no L, M, or H on the thing. No. Change your body. Maybe I should have a.
Told you, man fueled by beer.
But it's just, I don't know. That class came out of nowhere and it was shoved down our throat. And now it's got tracks. I travel probably more than anybody, and the tracks are all divided.
Well, divided because that area decides that becomes more popular and that's what everybody wants to run, right?
Yes.
Is that how it works? Yeah.
Some tracks just say, oh, Roar did this, so we're doing this. Meanwhile, Roar keeps adding 25 turning to these races to help salvage some sort of entry count because the entries are low, and they add 25 turning, and it brings it back up. They did it at 360, and they did it at RCCA. I don't blame them. They're trying, you know, they want the race and the track to do well. So they're trying to salvage some numbers, but, you know, I mean, there needs to be some differentiation between the classes.
I think that's a big thing.
Right. So back to the Nats thing. The one thing we could improve on in practice is having a fast line and a slow line, correct? That would help. Or do you just run 3 minutes, or you run it that all you have on Thursday? So you're saying if you ran it just as it was heats, right? On Thursday's practice, that means you would be up, 3 times maybe all day to practice in that class?
If you were doing it short, like 3-minute runs, everybody would get a couple runs. That's all anybody should need. These guys that practice 25 times, they got to learn to figure it out because at some races you don't get that.
Yeah.
But even if you were to do like you said, a fast line, slow line, predetermined with what classes constitute fast class,
Yeah.
class constitute slow class, and that would help tremendously. I think it would help people, and if like the NASCAR turnout is up.
No, NASCAR, that's not good. I already know that. That was just to have him finally there, and hopefully that Skycraft sold a bunch. What I'd like to do next year is that in between the rounds is just have them come out and everybody come out with 20, 30 cars, pick it right to watch all you guys laugh and giggling going on with the 20 guys up there. That's what made it entertaining for me that weekend. Is what you guys did there.
And yes, Scott Franklin, USGT died because the bodies got stupid. They didn't look like LMH cars. They didn't look like anything. They were blobs.
They were. Yep.
And the tires sucked. And that's why the class died.
I think the tires was the big thing.
Yeah.
Well, that and the bodies look like ads. Let's just come out and say that.
Well, some bodies I couldn't tell if it was a touring car body or a USGT body.
Yeah.
A few of them that came out of
That's where LMH is it's gonna happen to LMH eventually.
Oh yeah, for sure. If
They're
they
going
to naturally.
It
How
depends.
did USGT go from a Camaro and a Cadillac to a Pagani that looks nothing like a Pagani?
Well,
You know what I'm trying to say?
that's a different conversation because I already brought that up to the guy that makes the USGT rules, and we almost got into a fight. So
sounds like Max needs to have him on the show.
Yeah.
We'll have him on next week.
But yeah, I mean that class is dead and gone, so that's one less thing to worry about. But there's really not anything new on the horizon. I mean,
But does there have to be though?
No, I don't think so.
So I guess Dumper, you travel a lot. GT12, is everybody in the country use the USGT motor? Because I think when we were down at Roar, it was a 21.5 open. I think
Roar's 21.5 open. The vast majority of tracks run the USGT.
Stick with that still.
Yeah, again, it's some of these tracks just said Roar did this, so this is what we're doing, and they don't look at anything beyond that. So, I'm always ready to run either. I look at the rules before I go someplace, so I show up with the right stuff in. But maybe not everybody has that luxury. So, but USGT is probably 90 to 95% of the GT12 races I run is the USGT motor.
No, and that's good to know too, right?
What's that?
That's good to know what's happening around states and that.
And I'll be honest, when they went to open tire, I thought it was the worst move ever. I would have sat in the pits and bet money that the class, they killed it. And ever since it's gone to any of the commercially available tires, the class has gotten bigger. So I was wrong. Thankfully, I was wrong because I sell a lot of cars to GT12 guys.
Yeah. I was surprised with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all were.
You can go the same speed on any of the tires that are available. They all got to be treated a little different. You got to learn, how to make your stuff do what you want it to do on the tire that you've chosen. But, you look at Cleveland, all the brands are represented in the main, and 2 or 3 of them are battling for the win, and the race went off just fine.
Is that because you think the motor is slow? Like, let's say GT12 had a 17.5 in it. Would that still be the case?
Like GT12 on like the current Nats tracks, some of the other tracks I go to, it doesn't feel that slow. You go to Cleveland or like when Vegas was, or the old Target.
The old Target track where you said it took you a while to get down the straightaway.
It's a little underwhelming on tracks that size, but you know what? These guys club race all over, and they that's what they run all year. And then here's a chance for them to go to the biggest race they're going to go to run the class that they run. Yeah. To see how good am I at this class. And that's the point, is since the tracks all run different classes, like Mark you guys don't run LMH at Rose City. No. But you had a decent turnout of LMH cars at your race because people wanted the people that. So, I can sit here and make an argument for both sides of the conversation. It's easy, but you're going to turn somebody away because you don't run LMH at your race. So sorry, LMH guys, you're out. It's only the biggest race in Canada and the second biggest race in North America, but you don't get to participate. Sorry.
Yeah, like I think we've got
can we do this? Can we run the 25.5 LMH with 25.5 TC? Like why does that be two separate? Everything's the same.
You'd have to look at the results. Like some of the guys did cross over, and like somebody who said Dave Johnson ran with the same car, so he'd probably be a good one to look at. Like what were his LMH times versus his touring car time? Like, was it different? Was it close? You know, I know in the early days of LMH, I went down to Apex, and we ran down there, and it was almost identical. But that was a while ago, so I don't know if people have figured them out better or have got them faster. But you know, if Dave truly ran the same car in motor and stuff between both, then he would be where I'd look to comparison's sake.
Yeah, so A main LMH, Dave Johnson ran a 9.0 average lap, and EA and 25.5 ran an 8.9 average lap. So you're within a tenth of the two top guys in the respective classes there.
Yeah.
So you almost could run it as a mixed.
Because the LMH, you know, that people aerodynamic stuff of the LMH, but the body weighs twice as much. So.
Yeah, but looking at here, Dave was faster with his LMH car than his touring car.
Yep.
In LMH, he did a 34.506. In his non-LMH car, 35.507. So he went faster with the LMH body. And he didn't even TQ LMH. Rain.
He's car 3, yeah.
Yeah, it was 3/10 up, so extremely close. But even Paxton with his LMH 34.507, you know, that would have put him 5th on the grid for regular touring car 25.5.
So
but again, I think a bunch of the LMH entries were guys like Dave double hitting the same car.
Yeah. Same car, same stuff, just changed the body and they got the race again, right?
I mean, yeah, you might lose some entries, but are you really gaining anybody? Oh, we cut a class. What does that do?
You were talking about, say, the Nats. It's always very interesting after the Nats, no matter if it was this one or whatever, is that it's almost split. You got some guys that realize that I need to practice more and oh my God, right? Like everybody's good. Like, right. And then you got some other guys that talk like, well, there's no sense in me coming back because I just got my ass whipped. And yeah, I didn't like being in the G main or whatever. You know what I mean? I know there's no fixing it or whatever, but it's just funny how some guys come and take a beating and then go home and take a long break. And you got other guys that take a beating and then hit the track and say, I got to get better.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never figure out that one. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
back in the day in Cleveland, I was there when there were 2 classes, when there was 520 entries.
Remember that?
And you could only race one class. So that meant there were 500.
Z made a 12 scale stock. Z.
Oh, no, it went worse than that. There was a double A, double B, double C, double D one year.
Yeah.
The first year I went, they did, they seeded the top, I think 3 heats, maybe 3 or 4 heats based off the previous year results.
Yeah.
Everybody else was alphabetical. Guess where I was? WY. Was in the X qualified.
Yeah.
It's just, and you just had to move up from there. And every year you'd say, you know, I was in the H main last year. Am I going to do better this year? And you worked all year. You know, there wasn't so many trophy races back then. You had the Cleveland.
What was the one we went to the one time too? The Cleveland, and then Trinity put one on in a hotel. It was like in March.
There was Grand Rapids, and then there was Detroit.
Yeah, but I remember there was like another hotel race, right? We were in a hotel.
They were all hotel races.
Yeah, they were all. That was all cool.
It would, you know, you'd work all year to go back to Cleveland. How am I going to do this year?
Sorry, back to my other story before I forget, and I'm old. Do you consider all these classes and stuff like that? Do you think guys, is it wrong of me to always think that guys are just trophy chasing, they jump classes? Or is it because you've been in enough races, is that's the class they run at their club, so that's what they run? You know what I mean? Or am I looking at it wrong all the time? I'm like, why the hell is that guy in that class? Or why is he in this? You know what I mean?
Talk about the trophy chasing. I simply don't think that that's it.
You think it's because their local club only runs those, right? There is no mod, there's no 21.5, so all they have is 25.5 and something else. So now when they go to a big race, they're not going to run 21 or mod because they never run it. Is that what you're going to tell me? Yeah.
Or they might jump in, they may try something, but they're going to also enter their classes that they
like VTA,
run.
You know what I mean? There's always a couple guys that run VTA that I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing in it, right? But again, I'm wrong because that could be what they run weekly.
I was just when I went to Montana. What do you think the biggest class there was?
VTA probably.
Yeah, over 40 of them. The year prior, they had over 50.
Well, we were just talking about that, me and Max, like Niagara. Niagara gets what, 25, 30 of them every Sunday.
Yeah.
Rose City, 20 minutes away, lucky to get 8.
Yeah.
Well, I said to Xavier, the one at the Nats, I was like, why are you running 25.5? Like 6 months ago, he was a top dog in mod at the Roar Nationals, car 5. You know what I mean? So to me, I told him, you're trophy trouncing. You can't win mod because Sam, like Aiden Farrell's another guy. Aiden Farrell runs mod. He makes top 10 at indoor champs. And I'm calling these guys out. Just I said the same thing to them. But then Roar Nats comes around, and next, last year he put a 25.5 in last year and won at the NYGP.
There's more to those things than you think.
Well, bank, yeah.
I don't know if it's so much the individual driver hunting a bonus. I'm not going to blame it on the driver.
Okay.
I got you.
I won't blame it on the drivers.
Team orders.
I don't tell my guys what classes to run. They can run whatever they want, but that's me.
Yeah.
And some companies want to make sure that other companies don't necessarily get an easy win. So if we can make company work a little harder and they still win, well, then congratulations to them. But there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes that
Politics.
the average guy doesn't need or want to know about.
With you selling your cars now, buddy, and bringing in your own company and all that, do you find is it like how it used to be? What wins on Sunday sells on Monday, or no? It doesn't really matter.
It absolutely.
What it does?
Absolutely.
Not just motor. You mean a car makes? Yeah, the car as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm even.
So after Canadian Nats, you guys had a great performance in 12 scale. Did you see an uptick in 12 scale questions or inquiries? With Schaller TQing.
Yeah,
Doing
I
good
did at the race. I did.
And GT12, you guys did good too, obviously yourself.
Yeah, but it's I didn't have any mod guys coming over to talk to me, but
No.
but it absolutely does. It absolutely does. I've been fortunate enough to win some decent races here in the last stretch, and I fly home on the Monday, or I drive home, whatever. I come home and look, I won with the touring car, and there's some touring car orders. Imagine that. And that's part of the reason why I'm on the road so much. You have to be present. You have to be there. This hobby, people forget about you pretty quick. I didn't recognize Jimmy until I saw his shirt. I forgot about him already.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
But it absolutely helps. And these companies, it's almost the fact that those guys ran 25.5. I would almost look at it as a sign of respect to the race. That winning that class meant enough to those companies to say, "Hey guys, I know it's not your favorite, but I want you to get in 25.5." They wouldn't do that at a 125 entry, mid-level club race or trophy race. You're above that now. So when you see some of this happening, that puts you up in elite status in a odd sort of way. But no, I don't. I'm trying to say this as tactfully as I can, out of because I don't want to make people upset. But it's a compliment to you and your race and how well it's run and how important it is to win.
Well, thanks, buddy. But
I think the big
I
difference
said earlier, what you said is that
I was more talking to than him, but whatever. I'll let him take it.
About about not letting your ego or whatever else, and it's still like a giant club race sort of feel.
There is in some regards, but it's still it's now a large, important event. that is on the map. I mean, I saw personally, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but I saw personally Martin Hoody say, "We're coming next year."
Yeah, he did.
So he doesn't just show. Yeah, they don't just show up to anything.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
So it means enough. You know, your race now. This race now means enough to these companies to do this.
Yeah.
And you know, like I told you at the race, it's cool that like there's no other big race that I go to where a guy in the bottom heat breaks in warm up, and Mark says, "Hey, get it fixed. We'll throw you in the next." That's. I guess.
Yeah, I know, but Bryce, sometimes I get shit for that now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's a fine line because what if it's somebody in the B heat? What if Max is R2 in the B heat?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your kid's your bartender?
Yeah, but isn't that why you have them?
You Canadians are weird.
Rum and Coke. But yeah,
But you know, it's a fun thing. If you're dealing with a G or an H heat, and a guy breaks, and you say, that guy, yeah, just fix it. We'll get you the next one if you can. Yeah. Then now, what if Max is car 2 in the B heat, and he does the same thing? Are you going to put him in the A heat? Now, race. The race went from the hobby end of it, which is the bottom half of the field, to the more of the, I don't want to call it pro, but that's the wrong term, but the more serious side of the field. Are you going to extend Max the same courtesy as you are Jimmy, who's in the bottom?
No.
Better.
No.
You know what I mean? And you know, like the thing with Josh and GTR, that was I was there.
That was
I was standing there when you said you know what classes you're running, jump at any heat, and he did.
What happened?
No, he didn't want to jump in that A. He wanted to be in the bottom. And I said, don't be in the bottom. I said, guys are going to be moving over for you all the time. You were going to wreck those guys' race. Not about him getting hit or whatever. I was thinking of that guy moving over like 5-6 times as he's coming through. Just put yourself last in the top qualifier. But oh my God, all shit that happened after that. Oh.
People got mad?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that's when you went to the Squire.
I did. That's when I ran down there. I did my jog.
But you know what? Then we can't blame Josh at all if you're the one that told him. You're the race director.
When I walked up to him before I even said it to him, he goes, "I know. I told you not to do it. You told me to." And I said, "No." I said, "I know. Do you mind going?" He goes, "Oh yeah, no problem. But I told you that was going to happen. That they were going to be angry."
Yep.
They're angry.
He should have gave him his own 5-minute qualifier.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, that would have really went over even a lot better.
Go beer, go home, Bob.
I would have marshaled.
Marshall.
Hot take for me. I don't even think that class should exist. I might see some comments.
It doesn't in most of the country.
You know, the class is cool, sure.
Yeah.
But
it was big. I don't know what, 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe. It was really big.
We had 28 cars this year. It's a small class by any means, but I just don't think that class should exist. I don't think it serves a point in on-road RC racing. Like those 28 guys, if they didn't have World GTR, would have put their entry elsewhere.
Or they wouldn't come.
Some wouldn't.
I look at the list. All these guys would.
They run
top 10 guys have 2 other classes at the Nats.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about the Nats too, Brian. The one thing I'm going to straighten up is, I swear, I think Max or what, but somebody told me how Scotty does it. Remember, my first round is always wasted on guys with no transponders. I got to go over the loop and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think Max reminded me Cleveland does it as, that's your problem. You got to give me your transponder before you race.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? I had some heats there, but all 8 cars had to cross over.
Yeah, and that's on the racer. I mean, that they're supposed to do that, but
yeah, I think there was a couple rounds where the same guy come up in a different transponder in the class.
So, buddy, round after round, Jimmy, it was like that.
Yeah.
Right? And the worst part is that, like, again, when you got IT mark up there and it comes up and there's 2 guys, but neither one has their name. So that transponder, they come up for round 3 and it's coming up as, the guy's name John Smith, but it comes up Fred, whatever. There's like no name in there that matches his. So I got to make him cross the line, a couple guys.
Well, that's where even if we ran run round of controlled 3-minute runs in practice, it would eliminate a lot of that.
And with
Yeah.
Scotty,
There's
Scotty
an
by example all the time. Would Scotty wait for these guys when they put down 3 of their cars and they all strip spurs and everybody's running all over trying to get wrenches and
Roy Nats didn't give a shit.
Cleveland is 8-hour round. How long are you going to wait?
Well, that's what always got me too. Even with the Canadian hats, it was 6 hours. I think we were around right at that point. Somebody help me out. I think it was 6 hours.
Yeah.
You know how many guys I've seen running to tech, and I'm thinking, I'm sitting on that stand. I'm like, how the hell do they not know that they're up? And then they're running back, and they come running like they're late again. Of course, they're late putting down their car. Going, that car didn't go up for 6 hours. Whether you're running 1 class or 5 classes, that car doesn't go up for 6 hours, and you're still not ready. What the hell are you doing back there?
The running late, you can't put all that on the guys because pitting in the rooms.
Yes,
If you don't,
Max brought that up too. And next year, definitely there's got to be a TV and whatever I need from that mall to get me some wires in there to put a TV in and some. Jimmy's got a guy. Maybe he can help me out with that with speakers. That somehow they need to hear me all the way in the rooms as well.
or have if live RC was up in the room, then that takes all of that off the table. That's no longer a valid excuse.
Yep, and we did that a few years
we
ago.
all have this.
Yep.
I get what you're saying, but we don't have the phone. Anyone can check live RC in 3 seconds.
You think so until you're an American over there and your internet sucks because Roger's awful. I don't know how they can afford to have that big stupid dome where those shitty Blue Jays play. Internet is terrible.
Next year we'll have TVs in the room. Next year we'll have a speaker in the room.
Yeah.
Like I said, the speaker is almost secondary. If live RC is running and up to date, then
well, when we had remember Jimmy and remember when we had Andy helping in tech and I got him to come. Remember we had a little walkie-talkie and each room had a speaker and he would be already like Heat 12 should be here up in tech already. Heat 12 to tech, and you could hear it in the rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not calling what race is up; it's saying that what heat should be in tech or on their way to tech.
I mean, last year
guys should know.
I know, Max, but
some guys go to a dirt racing track.
They're yelling. They're yelling over the PA system, but
you got mini stocks behind you. Ring, ring, ring. You can't hear shit anyway.
Hey, you're the.
Well, I seen Jimmy trying to get in that car a few nights, squeezing in.
He tried to get on mini stock.
They're coming to the push track, right?
Don't. MT Hobbies was on a mini stock. Dumper Speed Shop was on a Sprinter.
Yeah.
Hey, I was on the top. I was on the top wing of that.
Yeah.
Well, we had to cut that program because the driver sucked.
Thank you for the heads up. It saved me money this year.
Yeah.
Well, they kept on lightening the car instead of the driver getting lighter. You guys were buying lighter and lighter screws and drilling out stuff to lighten the car for the driver.
Hey, I thought we were talking about RC racing here.
Sorry.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're not back. We'll talk about sprint cars later.
So what are the 2 entry level class? We need to have a 12 scale entry level class in a touring one or no? Is it GT12 and VTA?
Well, VTA I think is probably the best entry level class.
I agree.
Spec motor, spec tires, basically spec everything.
I agree.
It's easy.
GT12 is great too, but 12 scales are more finicky than a touring car.
Yeah.
Not really.
For an entry level guy.
Yep.
There's a third of the parts.
Yeah, but the front end is smaller. The front end is more fragile. The pivot's more fragile. The tweak is important.
Not if you drive the right car. But
we're trying to get Nader on that path.
I think Osmatics is the right one. Is that the right car? I don't know.
I will never recommend an Osmatics to a new driver. I get scared still looking at an Osmatics car.
12 scales are way easier than a touring car. There's a third of the parts. It's a third of the cost. Rubber tires. You could put a set of gravities on and last a month and a half, 2 months. If you want to truly have a beginner class. Now, if you're going to host a national championship race, you can't expect it to have all beginners. It just doesn't work that way. You're taking away the prestige of the race if you force guys to not run.
Patrick St. Germain GT12 with a $300 motor. That's crazy.
I don't know
Yeah,
where
because
that's.
some of the races are open 20. Like at
Yeah, 21.5.
Oh, okay. Instead of the
Roar Nats, you should
motors.
have seen how many motors some of the guys had.
Yeah, and that's 300 Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, or Quebec dollars, either way.
Well, and back to the other one, Brian. Okay, so you're saying VTA, and again, I hate harping on it, but is there a point where some guys shouldn't be running a class, in your opinion, or no? You can't stop anybody from running a class, or you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, that happened to Champs last year.
Yeah,
Yep. Wasn't allowed to run 25.5, but was allowed to run LMH, I think, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a big rumor that went around. Many guys were told not to run 25.5 touring car, but were running 25.5 LMH as they were told to run that instead
Mm-hmm.
at a national event. We're not going to mention names, but it was interesting to see some guys in LMH 25.5 and not touring car when touring car had triple amount of entries.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the Snowbirds that still does that class where you can't be sponsored, no stickers, no shit on your shirt, none of that kind of stuff?
And all the guys in the A main respond. So
They just don't wear the shirt and have stickers on.
Oh, everybody in RC is sponsored.
Everyone in RC is
Yeah.
sponsored.
Yeah.
but it, like if you're talking, like, I guess how do you, I guess if you're talking about VTA, you're almost talking. What, you're talking about guys like me?
Yeah,
You know,
just-
You're
I'm
not
just-
that good. But
yeah, well,
I was waiting for that. Wynn didn't like that one.
he didn't. He's quiet, Jerry. Is he staring right
No.
through you?
pro guys.
No, I'm just asking. About, is there a point where, or does it have to be a novice class? You know what I mean? Does
I
there
mean,
have to be?
if you're going to have a novice class, then just have a novice class and call it novice.
But what class do you even have it as? There's so many
Whatever
damn
you
cars
have.
out there.
If they're brand new novice people, when I see novice classes when I travel, they run whatever the hell they want. It's novice. They're just out there trying to learn how to drive a car. They're little kids, old people. They're people.
Get their hands on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of them tend to gravitate toward the NASCARs because then they also will run NASCAR. They'll do both with the same
Yeah.
car. But I've seen people run VTA cars in there. I mean, they're just running whatever car they have, or if it's
Buddy lent them. Yeah.
if Mrs. Dumper wanted to race, I'd give her something out of my pile of crap in here and say, go have fun.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a national championship level race. So do
And
you
I
want to
think
have
novice is more for the club racing aspect, right?
Yep, even up to maybe the mid-level trophy races, the 120-ish entry races, like some of them are when I go out west.
Okay.
They do it because it's all kids and spouses, and mainly it's for kids, like little kids.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the spouses might jump in just to help add a couple cars to the field.
Okay.
Maybe they have the intention of actually racing the car, but
Yeah.
there's only 3 kids and we need a couple more. So a couple of the wives or whatever will jump in and just go out and tool around with the kids. But to try to sit here and say what the novice class, that's up to each individual track owner to determine what.
But it's so
people
tough, buddy. It doesn't.
start somewhere. This is not easy. I mean, this stuff is
No.
hard.
Like
You know,
I tell everybody, this is hard. It's harder to run an RC car than it is drive a real race car. You got no feel. It's totally different aspect.
Yeah, seat of the pants doesn't quite work when it's third person.
No.
And everyone knows how to drive a car.
No, they don't. Look at Mark Calander's kid Cole.
No. I meant drive a real car. Like anyone can drive their car, so they can sit in a race car and get it. You know what I'm trying to say? For RC,
Yep.
it's unnatural to people.
Yeah, I'm just talking about if you're trying to compare like kid, not everyone can get in the car yet. You can't explain to a 9-year-old kid, well, it's just like you would. You got to steer it. That doesn't work. The kid's 9. He's never driven a car, or he shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a hard conversation. It's really a dead horse at this point that people are just beating for because the internet's giving them a place to bitch about stuff that that nobody else will let them talk about. But there's races with a lot more classes than on road, so I really don't foresee it being a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
No, because I bring it up to off-road guys too. I can't stand when I see these Psycho Nitro Blast with 900 something entries. And you're right, there's amateur, novice, pro, this one, super pro. Goes on and on. It's the same 1/8 buggy. Can't they all just run together? And does anybody really? I don't want to sound rude. Does anybody really care who wins the A main of the novice or A main of the amateur or A main of the whatever the hell other classes they have?
The people in it probably do.
Yeah. When I look, I only see who wins. Right? That's just me. I just look to see who won the.
And that's probably how most people are. Or you know what? Some people
do they make those guys move up after a while? I always wondered that too. Or
I don't know.
They winning the amateur as much as you want.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't
Mark,
do the eights.
where's your next race? Go run amateur.
Maybe I can win.
Novice.
Novice.
Come on out. The plane leaves in 2 weeks. Let's go.
See, like with the real racing, the flat track motorcycle racing in Welland, they got the same thing, right? But if you win amateur, the points that year, you have to go pro next year. But you know what some guys were doing? They're actually, instead of running with the pros, they will sit out a year and then come back to run amateur again.
Yep. Racers will be racers. Find a way. They want to win.
Well, we had a couple guys in Nats that said that too. They wanted a trophy so bad that they're like, "Oh, I wish I was." I'm car 10 and the C, and I could have went a little slower. I could have a trophy in the D main. Could have won. Said it's better to finish last in the C than first in the D.
My opinion on that one is I think that everyone should be going home with the trophy of some sort.
Yeah, okay. Like when I take my kid all the way to soccer, all the way to Rochester, and everyone gets a trophy.
It's not so much for hey, look, I got a trophy. For me, it's a memorial piece. It doesn't have to be a legit trophy saying where it is.
You came back with something? Well,
Yeah.
Cleveland this year was only what? First place?
First place in every main after the A. So if you finish second in the B, so if you came 12th out of 70 cars, you got jack shit.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah, only if you won the B or won the C, you got something. But if you came second, you didn't get nothing in each. For me personally, these guys are spending how much money to come to these events? How easy would it for you print something small for these guys?
Yeah, to at least stand there with something. Yeah, that's true.
For the memorial aspect of things,
Well, and that's how you always talked about. You got to cater to the guys in the lower mains because those are the ones that
pay the bills and do everything.
They're the obvious that pay the bills. Top 10 is the top 10. Basically, every big race is
right. And they'll just go to the next race anyways. You're right, Jimmy. They just go to the next race and whatever, and blah blah blah. It's the other ones that pick and choose maybe that one to go to a year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, buddy, all these things you made, I can't thank you enough. They were a great hit, man. The TQ things were awesome. When I see somebody like EA contacting Bazzer, even 15 minutes later, hey, where's my TQ thing for around my neck? You know what I mean? Just by EA, but everybody wanted to wear it. It's really cool.
Yeah, you gotta earn it.
Yeah, it was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
It started
different next year.
It started slow, but then I saw somebody bring it to our room for somebody. So, and I don't know if the guy was busy, who the guy who lost it was busy. He sent somebody, and whoever was getting it said, "No,
really?
You take this to him, and you have him bring it to me when he had."
No way.
Yeah.
It started kind of slow, but then people were into it. They were into it.
Yep.
And your Send It one, that was fantastic. And
we have a Send It number 2 biggest send.
Whitaker's thing was amazing, right? To put it on the table, right? And Dumper's driver of the day thing, that was cool, man. To watch those people light up, and you decide on who's the driver of the day. You see the smiles with that chain on, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Mark, did you not get a driver of the day?
No.
Oh.
I just got the goat.
Sorry.
Yeah. There's a picture of me at Codwell Banker too, eh? Did you see me in there?
No.
Yeah, but check it out next time we're at the mall. My picture's there now too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I couldn't give it to Mark. I wasn't watching the C Heat.
He was in the DQ.
Okay.
So, do you guys think we need classes? I look at the list. Front wheel drive.
Well, front wheel drive.
It was the first year.
Front wheel drive.
RC in general.
Front wheel drive was on life support until they finally realized that taking it off the USGT tire and putting it on a slick made the class 10 times more fun. I only ever got to do it once in my front wheel drive career, and I had such a blast.
Oh,
and then
Steph wants to race.
we discontinued our front wheel drive program, and then then now the class is slicks only, and it's only going to grow because hashtag racing is super popular. Europe gets 140, 150 front wheel drive cars at a race.
Yeah, but they only have 6 classes.
They have a lot more than that, but the races only put out the ones that they want. But you cut yours.
Yes, has 140, but they have only 6 classes total, and they get 500 entries at dawn.
Yeah, you cut this down to 6 classes, and you watch what happens.
North America's fucked up. That's
It is.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
It is. It's sad.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not going to disagree with that. I mean, the way our races are run, the minute graces, and the people who get mad if they don't get enough of a minute grace.
Oh,
I was at the Hootie Arena in the Euros in 2015. I was in the A heat of 13. So that means I marshaled the bottom heat of 12th mod. There was a guy that was in there. He had nothing but radio issues the entire week. Like literally, the guy probably did 25 laps total the whole time we were there. The last qualifier, Hagberg lent him his backup radio just so the guy could go out and run a qualifier. And the Hootie Arena, it's not like getting on the driver's stand at the Nats and a couple steps and you're up there. It's in a different floor of the building, different room. You got to run through all these caverns to get up there. So Hagberg, the guy's up there yelling while they're warming up. Hagberg takes off in a dead sprint all the way up. He gets there and he's messing with the radio, but the guy's car wasn't in the right spot when the right beep went off. The official walked over and picked it up and walked right off the track. Done.
Wow.
Yeah, but the difference is, Brian, over here, that guy would never come back to the Canadian Nats if you did that to him.
You're correct.
Over here, he'd sulk, and that's it. I'm never going back there. He'd be on here trashing the race, never go back. They're not helpful. They're not whatever. That is the issue over here now.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to say. It's really sad to say, but it's true. That a lot of these, yeah, because over here we're at races. Over there, you're at an event, and it's the professionalism is unbelievable. Like when you're there, you're like, wow, this is really, really cool. Like you feel like you're a part of something special. Not that we don't feel that way. Like like when
but it's right. Even Dino tells me over like in China, the RC racer at China there are treated as if they were Formula One drivers when they have these big events there.
Yeah.
From everything they do, it's like you are like a big deal at this event.
Yeah.
Otto and then went to that race in China there a couple months ago. And they're showing me videos of this like opening ceremony, spectacle.
Yeah.
Like, celebration dinner. You know what I mean? Like everyone walks onto the track by country, like shit like that, right?
Yeah, they did it at the Euros. I carried out the flag for Austria.
I don't think you're Austrian, are you?
I was that weekend.
Just because he drank Austrian beer, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my sponsors was based out of Austria, and they paid for the trip, so I raced under the Austrian flag. You can't do that anymore. I wrecked it for everybody. I finished on the podium, and some people complained. So,
Oh, Brian, I got to take right how you always told me too about the Canadian Nats. Keep on doing what you're doing and all that kind of stuff. There was many sponsors this year that cannot believe how much stuff we do for the sponsors, much they're announced, from the banners around the track to everything in it, and they thought it was the coolest thing. They never seen that before. Where I called out each guy between rounds 1 and 2 to come out in front of after that picture, and this is Brian Wynn, right? This is so and so. This is so and so. They thought that was the coolest thing. They've never, right? They actually felt bad that they felt they didn't give enough after all the stuff you guys do.
yeah,
Says,
I mean,
another sponsor says the other place has got to step up their game for all the stuff that you guys do.
I mean, I was a little disappointed. I was supposed to get fireworks, and you told me I was going to have fireworks.
Well, I tried to get in that eagle. We couldn't find that eagle over here to land on your shoulder.
No way.
I lost it.
She get him a pigeon or something. She had a pigeon land on his shoulder.
Canada Goose.
A Canada Goose chase him around.
Son of a bitch, it bite me in the ear.
No, hey, Jimmy.
I got ideas for next year.
Scott,
No.
Scott, I think some classes have RPM limits in their speedos. I'm not fully up to date on what they do in Europe, but I believe a couple of the classes do have. A lot of them have hand out motors and hand out speed controls.
Yep.
Yes,
I think everything has RPM limiter except mod. When I talk to
It
Adam,
could-
like pro stock is spec ESC, spec motor, spec gearing, RPM limiter.
yeah.
But
It
here,
could be.
Brian, that's another one too. That was Keith and Frankie actually said that to me. The one year, let us have a rental thing, a class, and everyone gets a speedo and a motor from blah blah blah, like they did in Europe. Remember, I think they were ETS for 1 year or 2 years with all that stuff. I brought it up to some guys, and the first they say to me, "Well, I don't want to do that. I'm sponsored by my companies. I don't want to run other right." But I'm like,
Well,
you guys are all the same though. Here's your speedo. Here's your motor. No, I wouldn't race then.
Yeah, but we tried that with the Can-Am motor with tow scale, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
5-6 years ago.
Very good. I have my own
Everyone
opinion.
thinks everyone's cheating. That's the problem here too.
Yeah,
Like spec motor, USGT, other guys, motors get teched. We tech it. It's 30 degrees, whatever. Oh,
Yeah,
he's cheating. He's doing something.
yeah. I lost the Can-Am lottery too many times, so I stopped running that long before it went away. But I know some people enjoyed it, but it wasn't for me.
See, the problem is, Bri, is that I'm old school and old as hell, and I just remember the days if someone got beat, whatever you guys, everyone was shaking hands on the driver's stand. Great race. Hey, Bri, you got me this time. I'll get you next week or next month. That's so and so. I'm gonna now. Brian Wynn beats me and he's cheating. I want to see his speedo. I want to see his motor. There's no way he hasn't beaten me in this long. How do you, right? Maybe Brian Wynn's been practicing more. Maybe Brian Wynn's got it. He was on that weekend. Nope, can't beat me. Right? I want to take all of his shit.
That's
Philip.
more around. That's an individual basis. I mean, people. I still congratulate everybody.
Yeah, and
If
the
it's a-
tech thing.
If we put on a good show, then
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because of my position has changed, and now that I own a company and stuff,
Yeah.
I look at it differently. But if the 10 cars go out there and there's a hell of a battle for an A-main win, and I'm not in it, and none of my cars are in it, but I hear people oohing and ahhing, the announcers go crazy. Then after the race, I'm going to shake whoever was in that race. I'm shaking their hand, saying, "Good job, guys. We put on a show."
Yeah, but again, Brian, you're a different guy, buddy. Like everybody says that. You are a great ambassador for this hobby, right? Everybody loves Brian Wynn, right? You know what I mean? And that you're a different cat. That's the difference. You're not you don't follow you're your own guy. You don't follow that rest of that stuff. You always told me that, and it's true about you. You know what I mean, buddy? That's just how you are. That's your personality.
It's whatever makes the race bigger, and there's only so much tech you can do. What are you going to do? You're going to tech Lemieux's underwear to see if he's cheating in VTA? At what point do you stop? He passed the same tech I did.
Yep.
So if he was doing something, then you know what? Kudos to him because he got away with something.
Well, I told Max today the same thing, and I think I might have told Jimmy. There was I won't say what it was, but somebody. It's almost like they waited for me to be doing tech. Mike took a break, and they came up with a motor, and I just went by all his list of numbers. Right, I put this thing on there. I'm like, this, no, right? I'm like, wow, this is not even right. Yeah, I kind of figured that. I just wanted to see if your machines were up to tech, but yeah, he goes. I knew it wouldn't pass. So I'm like, why the hell did you bring it up here? Well, I just wanted to see.
Because it's a big race.
You would have ran it if I texted, put a sticker on it. Well, yeah. But why bring it up here?
They do that stuff at Cleveland and Snowbirds.
Yeah.
They see what they can get away with. I mean, I like VTA. I own one motor, one.
Yeah,
that's all I've ever had. USGT. I own one for GT12. I don't. I've never. If I didn't have to go through motor tech, it wouldn't even come out of the car. Like I don't. But some of these guys, that's what they do. I don't know. Well, there was a guy that had that rotor.
Yes.
We won't say his name, but
no.
He had a non-USGT rotor in a USGT motor for GT12.
And he's the gentleman. He said that he bought it like that, came right out of the box. So that's why I said, hang on. I got on the phone with Paul, and I put Paul on speaker. I said, can it happen like that? Who are you talking to? I said, Paul Lemieux. He goes, never happened. Right? Then all of a sudden the guy, well, I bought it from that guy, and he pointed to somebody. Right?
Yeah. So
I don't think you're ever going to combat that. Just the mentality around.
Well, they all
racing
call it, what is it? I like
that.
pushing the gray areas, and I like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? How about just don't fucking cheat?
Yeah, pushing the gray area is different than putting a illegal rotor in your motor.
How about just don't cheat, man?
That's not pushing the gray area. That's cheating.
Yeah.
Like, Putting turbo or putting boost in your ESC, that's not pushing the limits. That's cheating.
Like that year, Brian, I didn't tell too many people I could say the shit here now because who gives a fuck, right? But it was the year we didn't sticker the tires. Somebody won a race.
Don't say names.
No, I'm not. Somebody won the damn race. I found out we're running tires that weren't hand-out because the set of gravities that were purchased like a month ago before early were all a little softer. It was 2-3 tenths faster than the ones we handed out. And I found this out after the event that they even went back to their home track and tested. And yes, the ones that were handed out at the Nats were 3 tenths slower than the ones that they were running. Now I got to sit there and sticker them all.
Or Max does.
Or Max does. Well, you tell which one's Max did. They look like a football. Do you see the tires?
You guys are putting them nicely in the bag. Put them in the bag. Take your fucking tires. Get out of here.
I wouldn't even put them back in the bag. Just throw them in the box. You get 4 tires.
That's what we're doing next year.
That's it. Yeah, for
Next
sure.
year, I'm going to have a big box of 700, 800, 900 tires.
Loose
Here's
tires.
4.
Yeah, match set. Here you go.
It's supposed to be numbered so you know which driver gets what number.
That's a different conversation. Yeah.
Well, we need more than the 4 or 5 guys that help out at the race every year to do that.
No, we
But
need
it
the
is
tires
though,
to come
Jimmy.
before the race.
Yeah.
But it is, Jimmy. It's hard to get anybody with tech. And it's true,
Yep.
right? Nobody wants to do it. And
Nope.
thankless job. And thank Wilson for sitting there for 18 hours and doing it all, right? But again, some other people complained you got to get more people in tech. Yeah, no shit. But nobody wants to do it. And because of the jerk offs that race in RC, the ones I even have there, even paid them to be there the weekend. After the next day, they're like, I'm never coming back in next year, Mark. That guy with all the shit over his shirts telling me his stuff's okay and what am I doing, right? You can't put a young kid there. You can't put somebody that says, you know what I mean? Even weighing their cars is bad enough.
Yep.
Well, how my car be 5 grams under? It was fine last time. I don't know. You changed something. No, I didn't. You had to, buddy. Look at the scale. Doesn't change. You put 10 grams on, it's 10. You put 20, it's 20. You change something. How do you leave somebody there, Jimmy, that is like, a student putting in his hours? You just tell him, okay, if this car weighs this, right? Is he going to tell the guy he can't race? The guy's going, I'm going up anyways. Oh, okay.
Well, I had my kid there, and he tried to block me from racing my battery.
Got a boy. I like this kid already.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were trying to get out of the D main, weren't you?
Sleeping outside.
Hey, wait a minute. Were you in the D main?
No, I didn't see.
What was wrong with your battery?
Huh?
What was wrong with
it was point like 0.5 over.
Oh, the Charger. He didn't have it in the right mode.
0.001
Charger,
over. Yeah.
He hit an ICAD mode or something,
Yeah,
right?
I had
He had it in
NICAD.
4-cell mode.
So your kid tried to stop somebody who was cheating, and now you're going to hold a grudge?
Yeah, but it was me. It was me. I'm supposed to get the free pass.
I do tech for the big oval races up here, and those guys, I mean, you want to see some people pushing limits. Road racers don't push limits.
No.
Not even close. Even close. Those guys, you gotta watch those guys. But now we got a system. They know they can't push me around, and it doesn't. Luckily, probably me being around for as long as I have been, and the fact that I know who most of them are, and they know me, so they don't. But now that I got them shaped up, and they come up right on the money. You want to calibrate your equipment and have a big oval race, it'll be calibrated.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake, this is so guys don't get. Now we're experiencing maybe a newer set of tires a little bit faster than an older set. So guys can't, share tires, pass tires over, sign up for a class they're not even running to get the free or to get the tires, newer tires.
I think it's snowbirds that are numbered, right?
Every races, every
two.
Because if we're on let's say a 2-set limit, right?
Which I did this year, yeah.
Okay, so we're on a 2-set limit, and we find out the tires are fastest on run 2. Okay. I burned through my 2 sets getting in the main. Now to have the best chance, I said, "Hey Jimmy, you got an extra?" I'm having a terrible weekend. I got an extra set here. Yeah. Now I'm technically cheating.
Well, we did that the one year. All the tires were numbered for your car number, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. I thought you were talking about you were cheating.
No. I don't cheat.
Jimmy doesn't have to cheat, buddy.
Cheat in the
He's just gonna punch you off the track anyway.
Yeah.
If you catch Jimmy cheating, now he just ground you and take away your allowance. But yeah,
Yeah, like that's the thing. But what was it, champs? They had them numbered, and they just wrote down what number set you got beside your entry.
And color.
In color.
Yeah.
War Nats in Texas didn't have any numbers on the tires, just dots. No.
They just grabbed a Sharpie marker on the 12 scale and just hit a mark on the inside.
Yeah.
Touring car tires just had 3 dots on them.
What tires were you guys on down there?
Gravity for touring car, and then Ulti for 12 scale spec.
Oh, I thought Jimmy's wife said you're done.
Not yet.
I thought he was going for his washroom break.
Yeah. No, I'll take the camera phone with me here.
Oh no, please don't.
You would too. You absolutely.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean,
So is that one thing that we need to improve? I guess, looking at, talking about the Nats. I know you guys were talking about before you brought us on, but improvements for the Nats. What do we got to do? Like the practice, I think, is one thing.
Yeah.
Sound system we already talked about. I brought a sound guy to the mall during the Oval Nats to show what our setup's like, so he can get some new equipment for us.
Wherever the rooms are, if they still have rooms available.
The rooms are the challenge, right?
You need a TV in there or some sort of system. Yeah. Yes.
Can't the mall drop us a network line like they did for the computer to run the TVs?
There's got to be in each room. He could tell me
these
there's
stores
not,
definitely
but
have
there
internet.
has to be stores.
It's just a matter of patching that in.
There's stores there, right? The stores had to have a line before, I'm assuming.
Oh,
yeah. I think the motor tech, it went well, but I think it, like every other race,
do that ticket thing, right?
We got to do the ticket thing. That's what I was gonna say. Every other race, you put your name on a ticket, stick it on the end of the motor, and leave it.
Is there a limit? Have you guys been to a race where there's a limit? Like I had some guys come up with 8 motors, one guy, one class. You know what I mean?
I think
there used to be. There was in the old days when they used to hand out brush motors. There was a limit. You could get the max of 3.
Yeah.
But now
that was handout though.
I don't know what people are checking in that many motors for.
I think the Huddy race did this year. The one at Tennessee in January. I think they gave us a limit on motors.
Realistically, it could be 2 per.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need.
Yeah, but now what 2 do you bring? Because there's 3 or 4 brands that are competitive. Which one's going to be fastest on the track? Like I would never expect the JDRs to be fast in touring car, but I saw the guys with them.
Main Wayne oval guys are different. Hey, when you walk into oval track, how do you know you're at a RC oval track? Dumper. All you smell is barbecue and weed, buddy. That's how you know you're at an RC oval race. Barbecue and weed. He's not even gonna laugh. Did he freeze up?
I think Ian's got to go to bed. He's asking what time we're going off that.
Well, let's figure out these classes here before we go.
Yeah. Are we going to add more classes? That's great. Let's put Formula 1 with modified motor. Let's go.
Well, at the Rose, they're testing some new stuff in the F1 class.
Yeah.
Oh God! Don't. No.
25.5.
No.
He's seizing up. Yeah, he's
look at those lips, eh? Jimmy's waiting for you.
No.
What now?
You don't even know what they're going to say.
I know exactly what you're going to say, and I'm not even going to let you say it. I'll keep talking over you. It's one place in one track in one area is doing it. This race experiment.
Yeah, but that's how everything starts new.
Well, luckily,
guys, USGT, whatever they do.
Luckily, you guys are at the end of the year, the end of the season, so you get to see where the world goes. But there's only one place in the United States that's playing with that, and there's no reason for it. Not yet.
Because the class is dying.
The class has been dying because of the tires. The Accelerate tires are what brought it back a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's way too early to even talk about that in a public forum yet. Let people test it. Let's see if it actually generates any type of interest. But
we've lost some newer drivers, maybe not as experienced drivers in the F1 category at Rose because with new 25.5s they couldn't handle.
No, it's also because that car F1 is tough to drive. You watch them drive, right? I don't know if it's open wheel or whatever, but
Yeah,
It
he took
doesn't
the
look like
guy's
an
head
easy.
off.
It
when he
doesn't look
killed
like
it.
an easy class, right? Like,
There's
Hand
no
car.
fenders.
pardon?
There's no fenders. There's no body. There's no bump. It's F1 is not for new people. The
Yeah.
cars are too.
Yeah.
You know,
watching
VTA.
for what Andre
go-
battled that thing for what, a month to make it go straight. I would have gave up a long time ago, man.
No, I don't watch. I don't watch real F1. So the RCF one has no interest to me. But you know, it's how many entries were in F1 this year?
16, 16, 18, 18.
Actually, pretty decent for what's going on nationally.
Yeah, 17 cars.
Yeah.
So my final say to get rid of classes, you get rid of front wheel drive, you get rid of LMH, you get rid of World GTR, and people are gonna get all bitchy and complain, but I think we get rid of 12 sale stock.
And just have super stock.
We have GT12, and then if you want
Why
to
would
be a
you-
man and action,
Why would you get rid of the bigger of the two classes?
because all these guys, everyone who runs 12 scale stock can run 13.5.
You sure about that?
And if you can't, then you go back to GT12. Like, how many sprint car classes are there? There's 3. How many late model classes? There's 3. In RC, we always have 4 for things, 5 for things.
How many mini stock classes?
One, baby, the best of the best.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree with that.
Look at Europe, bro. Europe doesn't have 17.5 12 scale.
Europe's tracks are about 4 times bigger than what the Canadian Nats is.
Canadian Nats different, but Cleveland, New York, Tennessee, Roar.
That's the wrong move. That's the wrong move.
I don't know. And I think 25.5 touring car and 21.5 touring car are too close together in speed now.
One's got to go eventually.
We either slow
Unless
back
they change
25.5.
yeah, or are they going to speed up to 21.5s? Are they going to change the motor rules on them?
No, I don't think so.
They're too close now together.
Barking up the wrong tree.
That's my personal opinion. Will it ever happen? No. But in my perfect world, which will never exist, that's what it'll be. But I also think mod's way too fast. I think mod would be way more badass if touring mod was like a 10.5 open ESC and 12 scale was like an 8.5 open ESC.
These young kids, they don't know, Mark. They don't know these young kids.
3.5 open is stupid.
It is. But
Slow
the
it
people
down.
that do it, so you're going to get rid of the. Good. Let's call Kevin right now and tell him he's fired because he did take me out in that NASCAR exhibition. So I want to be the one to tell him.
No, but it'd still be mod because it's still going to be the fastest of the 12 scales. It's still going to be an 8.5 boosted.
Now is the problem that Brian, the problem is that the 12 scale mod now is just so bloody fast that if you send that car, it's written right off. And there's very few guys that could even do it anymore. It's terrible. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Booster trees last year.
What's a big race now? Cleveland, right? Is probably the biggest for 12 scale mod. How many was there? A and a B?
10?
Yeah.
20?
Yeah, it's hurt.
20?
It's hurting in the
10.
States overall because very few people have a place where they can go practice on a. Actually, I guess I'm going to contradict myself, but not a lot of people have a place big enough to really run 12 scale modified and run it. Although Sam Isaacs, his home track is not big, and he does okay with this stuff, I suppose. So, so that there you go. I just contradicted
He's up and
myself.
coming. Up and coming.
But he turns around and runs different tracks. But
It's also a tire issue, though. You could tell me all you want about the other stuff, but there's who could afford to run 12 scale mod and the tires alone. What
to
would it
be
cost you
competitive.
practice. Yeah, to be competitive.
pretty much 4 tires every time your car is the track.
Yeah.
To do it
And
competitive.
if you're paying full pop over here, I think that'd be like $50 every
Yeah.
set. Canadian.
And what also contradicts your previous part, Brian, is that you look at Europe in 12 scale, their tracks are bigger, like you said, but their 12 scale mod's slower. It's 6.5 blinky.
We tried that here, and it turned into basically a really fast stop.
Why is that?
And there's really only one motor you can run, and that's the Hobby European version. If you don't have that, you're basically not in the hunt.
But if we change the rules and we make these companies actually, build a good 6.5, then like we had to do with the 25.5s recently.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds well and easy, but it's not. I mean, it doesn't. The industry doesn't work that way, young man. So
Well, I know it's sad. I know I'm a young buck, but I just see in Europe they have 12 scale mod at the Euros and there's 40 cars.
Yeah,
and it's a slow mod. It's 6.5 blinky.
And here you are talking about eliminating a class over here that had over 40 cars.
What's that?
25.5 touring.
I want to keep 25.5 touring.
That's Jimmy.
That's Jimmy wants to get rid of it. I want to keep 25.5.
It's just it's not our place with this race. I don't feel to be trying to change the direction of the world.
Yeah, I'm talking more not just Canadian nats. I'm talking big picture.
Right, homie.
Again, you'll never get the people who run the races to trim classes because you're pulling money and like Mark said. Whatever class it is that you get rid of, it doesn't matter which one. We spin a wheel, and whichever one comes up, it gets cut. It's going to be the biggest complainers on the internet, and Canadian Nats suck, and Frichette's a jerk, and Jimmy's a clown, and Dumper allowed all this, so screw that guy. It doesn't work that way. I think Mark fell asleep.
No. But
so now should we be putting class limits on entry limits on the race? We're going to keep all the classes. Like, do we put 400 entry limit on 350?
Oh, you mean like you said, if it's 25.5, you go by last year 50. First 50 guys to sign up paid are in that class.
Yeah.
70
per
guys,
person.
21.5.
Yeah.
Or per person. I know in Europe at the ATS, like you can at Dawn, the big one, you can only run 2 classes.
And the demand, I don't think we've reached a point where we're out of space or the one year in Vegas, I think it was the second year, he had 610 entries, and he was like, "This is too much. It's too many. The race is simply taking."
It was, buddy. That last big target one. I understood what people.
Yeah.
We were over 8 hours around, right? We have like something? I forget what the hell we had. 400 something, 600 entry, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And it was going to be bigger the year it got canceled. But you also had an advantage. That track was so big. We were doing 15 car heats, and you didn't really even notice.
No.
Yeah.
The cool thing was about that was even practice. Like you said, the track was so big, everybody played nice. It was just the next 12 in line go up on the stand.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize until round 3 that we were doing 15 car heats. I was in the A sort of I forgot what class it was, USGT or touring stock or something.
Yeah.
And I looked at the sheet and I'm going down the thing. I'm like, I know I'm in the A. Why I'm not here? And you walked by at that exact moment. I said, Frechette, what's going on here? Would you take me out of the class? And then you looked at it. You go, no. There was a page break.
Yeah, you're on the next page.
Your car 13. I'm like, when the hell did you start running 15 car heats? I said, we've been doing it all weekend. Didn't even know. But that you can't do that here.
No, obviously not. But I'm just meaning, where is there? Do people don't care about how long the event is more than the other way? I'm trying to say, like,
you got to think about this, Mark. Like, you're bringing all these people to the great metropolitan of Welland here. So, they want to have some time. They got to go to the bar after, they got to go to Empty Bellies or the Squire or what other establishments they want to go to. But, so say we get a ton of entries and it's going to be 6 hours around. Do we go and cut qualifiers back to 4 minutes for TC and 6 minutes for 12 scale? Is that going to fly, or is everybody going to get pissed off of that too? We got to cater to all these bitches, right? So
that's what I mean. Where's their limit? Do guys? And I got half the guys tell me, "Well, I don't care. I came here to race, not to go visit stuff." And I got some other guys that'd be like, it's just too long, right? Here, oh my God, right?
You'll get both. Guys want to race. They want to be a part of a big event, and you got guys that, I can't make dinner reservations. No, you're at big giant race. You don't do that at home. Or do it on a practice night. You don't do it in the middle of the race.
Well,
But-
you guys know that. You all been at Cleveland. How many times you think who the hell's going to be on the track at 3:30 in the morning? Just close the track, right? They're still lined up at 3:30, 4 in the morning, practicing like animals.
They're there to race.
Yes.
But, if you were to cap it at 400 and just fill out classes to, if you're going to do, let's say 8-car heat, right?
Yeah.
So you fill
That's
out
about as many
heat
as we could do, right?
and then
on that
there's
track.
the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place. And if we only get 2 stores, for next year, pitting.
There's going to be a point where there is no stores. That's the one, right? That's scary.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
So like, there's no announcer for the practice stuff too. Like,
That's
put your car
that's the-
down, go up, go down. You got
Yeah.
30 seconds to get next to.
when we raced the Worlds in England, it was my first Worlds, but it was my first Worlds as a competitor. There was an announcer for the crowd, but we could barely hear them talking. But I had no clue what they were saying. The whole race is run by the computer, and if you're not in the right spot at the right time, the official walks over to your car and you're done.
Yeah.
But this is the World Championships. It's supposed to be. This is the pinnacle. So that's the way it should be. And if you want to run a professional high-end race, then guess what, buddy? You had 5 hours to get ready, and the fact that your opinion fell off on your way to tech is not my problem. Like,
Well, that's like my old buddy Steve, right? He said the same thing. I know it's your Canadian Nats, and Steve's the other way. He's exactly what you're talking about. He goes, you got to set that tone in the beginning. Just my opinion that if your car, there's no mercy. This is the Canadian Nats. Have your shit together, right? This ain't
that's
club
what you've been
racing.
practicing. This is it's not a club race.
But again,
So-
like I said earlier, these guys sulk right away and
Yeah.
never coming back. I say one thing wrong or something didn't like or whatever, they pout about something, you'll never see them again. And then there's 3-4 buddies that they come with too. I ain't going because you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you bring in an actual professional announcer like Scotty or Jared
Yep.
or whoever, they're not going to screw around. Jared, I mean, he's gone to out west with me a couple times. He posts a timetable, and he stays on his. There's 130 entries. Bro, slow down. It's okay.
Yeah.
But no, he's cracking the whip on these guys, and it takes him a little while to come come to terms with it. But it's going to be a rude awakening for some of these people because they think they're just another day at Road City.
Then that's it just gets very interesting, buddy, on hurt feelings and right. You didn't do this for me, and you did it for that guy, like you just said earlier, right?
Just don't do it at all.
There's just no time. I mean,
No.
if we're doing 6+ hour rounds, there's just no time. Man. I mean, I hate it. It sucks to be like that. It really does. But once you give a minute to one guy, now you got to give a minute to anybody who needs one.
Who's this Sprinks RC that keeps chiming in?
That's Jeremy.
He's Springs
Jeremy
now.
who? Jeremy who? He still races? Haven't seen him since the Nats.
Because he gets sad when he doesn't do well.
Oh, I was good. I didn't want to say it.
Hey, all I know is
Hey, doom scrolling. He's doom scrolling. He's like,
when I went after Cleveland 2024, there was supposed to be a whole group of Canadians going to Maryland 2 weeks later, and they all got their asses handed to them in Cleveland, and they all got sad, and they all
Don't say
stayed.
all. Don't
There
say
it
all.
is. That a boy Sprinks. Hey, jeez.
Don't
There
say
wasn't-
all.
There wasn't a Canadian in the building, so all the Canada got sad and stayed home.
no, but transponder numbers definitely need to be put in.
Yeah.
Whether you
that's
do
the-
can we do maybe a quick 2-minute rocket round practice on Thursday night? Everybody's there. At least you get 75% of the guys transponders in.
Yes. Whatever would help. Anything would help, man.
Yeah,
Or
You
I know
have a
it-
piece of paper with your name, your class. Here's my transponder. Hand it to me.
yeah, or when
Yeah, but
you
how many
register
guys
for the
in Australia
race.
don't know their number, buddy? Max,
Well.
that's the problem too. Not
Yeah, we can
saying
teach
this
them.
area all the time.
You go
but
to
there's tons
practice.
of guys there, you have no idea what the hell their number is.
You go to your practice, it says your number right there.
Yeah. Well, I was on board with that too. I drove Scotty crazy at Cleveland this year because I had a transponder and he kept putting it in and I'd go out and run and it wouldn't count.
Okay.
And this went on. It was a red AMB. So it wasn't an MRT or anything. It was a red one. It's got a number printed on it, but it spits out a different number than it's printed on it. And we went crazy. Finally, he stopped practice. I could walk on the track and drag my car in. And he's like, I got your number right here. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, I've never seen that in my entire life.
So Sprinkles is hot right now. I paid to go to that race. He's, hey,
Yeah,
Jeremy's hot. Look out.
That's great. You played, bud, but you stayed home and sulked.
He's folding tables right now in half. Right?
Yeah, I even put a duck in the duck pond down there for all the racers that ducked the race, and I wrote all of Canada on it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that photo on Facebook.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Easy.
But
All
yeah,
right,
I mean,
since you like every class in the world and you want to run every class in the world, what's your favorite class?
well, I mean, I've been doing 12 scale for 40 years. Next year will be my 40th anniversary tour. But
17.5?
well, stock, we using 27 turn back in the 1900s. Now it's 17.
Let's go.
Did you ever finish the main back then when you had to run NICAD?
That's where you got the dumper. That's where you got the dumper name from.
I was on TQ pace one year at Cleveland.
Oh, here we go.
Back when you pitted in your room.
He was on TQ pace and he dumped.
Oh no! I was on TQ pace, and this is back when you pitted in your room, and the race was broadcast through the TV into your room.
Yeah.
So you knew, what race was up, and you had a whole thing on there. And about 4 or 5 minutes in, you could see the people coming in the ballroom. Like, holy crap, who is this? It's on TQ pace, and 6.5 minutes in, I was watching. It ended up being a circle. It ended up being a circle that did all that.
Hey, Molnar's finally out of the washroom.
Yeah, Molnar and he stayed in too. So no one knew.
There's a lot of chit chat that Molnar got slower after his last 12-month changes in his program.
I don't know. Your phone's breaking up. I can't hear you.
Next question.
DB, what's your favorite class, DB? Because you've been running, a little bit of everything recently.
Off-road.
Oh, get out of here with the.
Yeah, but you're running carpet off-road. That's not even real. That's the
No.
dumbest shit I've ever seen.
I might. We might be looking at an 8-scale buggy this summer. Who knows? But I think touring mod is obviously
that's a great investment, eh?
Yeah, that's exactly what Jimmy needs.
Yeah, Jimmy needs a 1.8 buggy.
Hey, can you block the light from this conversation here?
Then your $5,000 tire budget right after.
Jimmy, if one thing Jimmy needs in his life is 4 cells of voltage at his fingers. Any track in Canada, if you see the name Jimmy Hoopinen come in, you call your insurance agent first thing because somebody is getting hurt.
I want to run nitro, bud. Come on.
Nitro's cool, dude.
Wait,
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's cool. I mean, being on the stand for an hour long and 100 degrees outside or whatever that is in communist units that you guys use, it's crazy with the pit stops and the whole.
Yeah.
It's a goosebump.
I mean, as a guy because you drove a real race car, so it's as close to a real race car as you can really get with the RC side. I feel. And
Jimmy, you would have loved 110th on road back in the day. There was
100
guys showing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There was 100 guys showing up to that 4-race series through the summer, and the championship was in Ottawa. But there was 80, 90 cars, man.
Well, we went to Quebec that year and got rained out.
Yeah, well, that's welcome to outdoor racing. That's why. Me and Steve over the years spent many times under a tent somewhere in the mud with rubber boots on and raincoats, and then you drive home.
Mm-hmm. No, but I think touring car modify is probably the most fun. it's challenging, right? That's the thing about it, right? It's hard to get that smoothness and touring stock. I hate it. I hate stock racing because it's motor, batteries. You got to have the best of best every time you go a big race, and it's frustrating, right? It's not like back in the day where you just can tune a motor and go and hammer away, right? 12 scale, I think that's a blast too. That's something that definitely you have grip and you could just drive the shit out of that car.
Rip makes
my
everybody.
drive is just you just rip it. Who gives a shit? Send it.
You better have
Yeah.
a 13.5 in your car next year when we get rid of 17.
Oh yeah, well, it might be.
No, that's not.
Yeah,
And Showtime, what's your favorite 25.5?
27 turn stock racing. Fix that.
No. Actually, my favorite to watch when the mod goes up, say in Cleveland or whatever, touring. Even the 12 scale mod, that's when it seems like a crowd comes out. Like I said, out of the 10, there's 8 guys that can actually really wheel them. But it's pretty cool to watch. But again, I'm a fan of all of it. Honestly, not sounding like that, but when we come to Canadian Nats and there's such a skill level, it doesn't matter if it's the A main or the G main. It's always cool to watch some good racing and guys realize that it's 2/10 apart from that whole main, right? That's what I enjoy watching.
And people
Or
lose the
calling,
track.
right?
That's the point, is to race against people your speed
Yeah.
and to try to do better and say, okay, this year me and Max went toe to toe, and I look at the guys above him on the sheet and I say, well, I want to see if I can get after those guys next.
Yeah. The only thing, Brian, I'd like to see ever clean up, which it won't, but the mains.
It's
some
there's no
mains are
respect
just
out there at all.
brutal, man. No one's waiting for no one's waiting for that guy to make a mistake to pass. There's
Because
just a lot of drive. But again, I don't know if they're actually driving through or it's just they run out of talent. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's like you watch the A guys go at it in that 12 scale. I mean, in that touring car 21.5 main, the top 4 or 5 were running nose to tail for so long, right?
Yeah.
Nobody bumped each other, no whatever. And then I don't want to say B, C, D or whatever, but some of them are just so ugly. Is guys don't know how to drive anymore or race anymore, or are they trying to drive through guys, or is this or just they don't have the talent to run this far behind the next guy and end up
it's
sending
because they spend all their time practicing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That turns people into good drivers. And there's lots of good drivers in this.
Yeah, but not good racers.
But growing up at CRC and the track that it was before, the track was small. All we did was heads up racing. Qualifiers, main. We raced heads up for 30-something years.
Yeah, but
that's
all
why
you guys back then, everybody that came from CRC, we used to hate because you were all good, man.
We all raced heads up every week. It was heads up, heads up, heads up. And now, you take, let's say Max goes out and just walks away with every qualifier.
Yeah.
Now he TQs everywhere he goes. Max Trivieri, TQ wins. He doesn't have to learn how to race anybody. There's a lot of good drivers, but when it comes to racing, there's a lot of people that are not good.
Well, yeah, that's what I don't understand. Even at the Nats, whether I'm not saying a battle for first, but it's even a car 5 and 6, right? You could have a good race together, but 6 just drives right through car 5.
Yeah. You don't know because they don't know, they have no idea how to pass, and sometimes the faster car gets beat.
Yes.
Maybe I'm bottled up behind Jim and I'm faster than him, but he's ahead of me. In a real car, you wouldn't just smash through somebody in a real car.
No.
Nope.
You're not to bring it home and pay for it to fix it, right, Jimmy?
Yep.
You might guess what? I might get beat by a slower car today, and that might be what happened.
The guy didn't make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
I go back to the mod main. Like me and Max, we were side by side through the sweeper. It was like pucker factor, but you know what? We didn't touch each other. There was give and take, but that's how you race each other. Nowadays, if that was anybody else, both of us would be out in booster juice.
No, right here, it's going back to qualifying again. Somebody asked me that, right? And that's what sucks about, like I said, I only announce and do that because I have to. You know what I mean? I don't want to, right? And I never think I'm any good at it. It's just that there's nobody else. But if you're in qualifying and say you make a mistake in qualifying, now Jimmy is ahead of you now. So he passes you while you made your little mistake. Now you're riding his ass, right? But he's ahead on time. is he supposed to move for you to let you go by, or you have to wait till he makes a mistake now? But you are way faster, but he is sitting.
You blew out already.
He's just sitting on a TQ run right now, but you are way faster and you're riding his ass. But you made that mistake on like 1, 2, or whatever lap. Now you're stuck behind him. Should he move for you or no?
You know where this conversation started. It was in GT12.
Okay.
I was TQ going after 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Q4, my car hooked a little bit. I went over the curbs. Rain got to the end. I was extra nice. I let him go because I made a mistake.
Mhm.
I dropped in behind him. And then I caught up to him, and now he's winning the heat. He's on TQ pace. I am all over him. He doesn't move. So I just get as close as I can. I never touched him.
Mhm.
Now the race goes on. I am now on TQ pace. But he's still ahead of me on the track and on the clock, technically. So who's faster? Is it the faster pace or the faster vehicle speed-wise? And I asked that question to a lot of people. All the young kids said, don't move. The older guys all said move.
Yep. Because it'll make your race better for both of you if you move over.
And then I had one driver who I won't mention his name said, if you did that to me and I made a mistake, I said, we're going to have words. I'm like, why? I didn't touch you.
Yeah.
But you forced me into a mistake. Like, you forced yourself into a mistake.
Yeah. No, but I always have that question when you're announcing. I don't know to say, you know what? Let him go, man. Like, he is just fast. Yes, you are ahead on time, but
Rain
guy's all over you. He made one bobble, now he's stuck there, right? But is it again?
Rain didn't move, and I don't hold it against him because
No.
I did put myself there. Would I have moved? Yeah, I probably would have moved just so I wouldn't get run over because I didn't hit him, but who's to say the next guy this happens to wouldn't just drive right through the guy?
Yep.
Oh yeah, but you know that even announcing, right? Again, you telling somebody one of the qualities. Again, I actually said I'm not going to call the leader no more because every time I call the leader, you guys take him out. So it's like blue car's the leader, and he's sent off the track. Okay, red car's the leader. Watch out, red car's on a good run, and boom, he's sent off the track. That's why I said, you know what, I'm not going to call the race no more because whoever say the leader is, you guys seem to hammer him off the track.
Let's just do heads up starts or heads up for qualifying all the time. Next year's Nats, heads up
Or
qualifying.
like Rattlesnaker says, double file starts like the old days. Imagine that.
That's how it used to be. There wasn't the IFMAR qualifying didn't always exist.
No.
You might go up to
you got to start up front one time, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
No.
Like the Reedy
sometimes
style?
you didn't.
Qualifying was heads up racing in the old days.
Reedy style, right?
Well, sort of, except for the fact that they set the heat board. I might show up one year and be car 1 of my heat, or the next year I might be car 9. So now I got to pass all these dudes in front of me, and then I think they only shuffled. They only shuffled after 2 and 4, and I think round 2 started the way you finish round 1 within your heat.
Yeah.
So that was the way it was, and this was way pre-Reedy race. That was just everything was heads up because IFMAR qualifying didn't actually exist.
But these problems only happen usually in the lower heats.
Oh yeah.
You don't see that happening in the top stock.
It can.
It can, but you like
Not as frequently, maybe.
not as frequent. Like it's
Because that's all.
TC mod.
In theory, the A and B heats of races, Mark shouldn't have had to say one word.
Yeah, I agree.
Those guys all know how the races run. They all know how our system works. They all know the way who each other is. It doesn't even matter if a white car comes up on me and I don't know which of the 7 white cars it is, but he ran me down. I'm moving over for him. It's just plain and simple. It doesn't matter to me who it is. But I hear people on the stand. Oh, Dumper, is that you? What does it matter? If somebody's running you over, get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. This is the way our system works.
Yeah.
And it in theory, the top heats should the computer should be able to run the race, and it does in some place. Yeah. Of course, at the World, we also have an IFMAR official yelling at us up there too. But Yeah, the 13.5 12 scale main was a bit of a milkshake. It got scrambled up pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
but that's Max's favorite class, so we got to keep that going.
Hey, one of the best mains. It was exciting.
It was exciting from if you weren't in it. I know my wife got hit in the leg by yesterday's car, and she wasn't marshaling.
The argument after that race between those two was insane.
Well, yeah, somebody was out of line, and I won't say that it wasn't the guy whose English wasn't his first language. He was a little aggressive, but that's
Everyone
it.
has their different views. My view is if when you're getting lapped, get the fuck out of the way.
He was against the outside board and got run into. I don't know how much more out of the way you can go. I mean, I guess he could have put it in the tech area.
That would have been good.
I mean, there is a
Out of the way. I didn't say it correctly. I said get out of the way.
The video, you know, people's memories seem to differ, but then when you go to the video, people forget that this stuff's all in live RC and you can watch it.
Yeah. It's way different in real time than when you can go back and slow mo.
Of course. Of course.
Right?
You know, when you got 10 minutes to discuss it or you have a split second to react to it, it's two different things. But I saw the video, and I not very often do I defend the orange car, but this time he deserves me to defend him because he was not wrong.
Yeah.
But whatever. So did we fix all the world's problems tonight?
I think we had a great show. We're 2.5 hours in. That's all I gotta say. We're 2.5 hours in. I don't know.
Okay.
Past Mark's bedtime.
It is, buddy. Whoa.
Oh.
Hey, what do I chirping in the background too? Holy
Oh, you
shit.
heard that too?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But it's been a great show, guys.
Yes.
TV,
Thank you, guys.
Win, thank you so much for being our first official episode.
Anytime, man.
We sold lots.
Yeah.
We're going to be live every single Monday. We'll be live. Next week, we already got a show with Chris Adams lined up, so that'll be a good one. And I'm sure in between, we will have some other shows because we have tons of people messaging wanting to come on. So we're going to try to get everyone on because everyone has a voice.
Yeah, and there's not much out there for on-road shows. So,
I have one question before we wrap this.
Oh.
uh-oh.
Why the hell is this thing called the fourth quarter? Wouldn't the third period be a better name?
Fourth Quelly?
So the reason it's called the fourth quarter is because it's usually – so this started back
I
a
think
long time.
Nerd News was taken.
What?
This started back a long time ago with when I think it was 2016. This is the quote I use. And Dimitri and I were in the pits at Indoor Champs 2016, 12 scale mod. He was having a horrible weekend. And we were in the pits. It's 3 a.m. He's trying to figure out 12 scale mod. And I said to him, bro, you still got the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter comeback. You can lay it down. You're down by 20. You can come back and win this game. And, you know, he had one of the best qualifiers ever, and he put it in the show. So my saying to people is, you know, fourth quarter. The game's not done till it's over. The race is not done till it's over. Anything can happen. So that's why it's called the fourth quarter show.
Shouldn't it be called the third period?
No, Max.
I hate hockey. I hate
Oh.
hockey. Yes.
Don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud. The people in your country will kick you out.
I'm not a big hockey guy, but qualifying, there's 4 qualifiers, so 4 quarters. So that's the saying we still use it now at the track when guys are having rough days. Fourth
All
quarter, the race is not done until it's done. But the podcast is now done for episode 1.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, DB. Thank you, Win, for joining us. We're live
No
next
problem.
week, next Monday with Chris Adams. Another good show coming up. Have a great week, everyone. See you
Thanks,
on the
guys.
track.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Love you.
See you guys.